It's time for Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, The Barbers Inn in Swissvale, A-Boss Opticians, Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show.
And welcome to the Wolverina. It is Woodland Hills football tonight on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Non-conference action as Penn-Trafford takes the trip down Route 130 to take on the Woodland Hills Wolverines here at George A. Novak Field. Last year, these two teams met in the same week. It was at Penn-Trafford. It was the first time the two schools had met since 2005. It was a 26-7 win for the Penn-Trafford Warriors. Last week for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, kind of a tough loss, a heartbreaker, as they fell 22-21 to the Fox Chapel Foxes. Nick Gizzo scored on a 3-yard touchdown run for Fox Chapel with 43 seconds left. The extra point was good, and Fox Chapel took a 22-21 lead. Michael Whitehurst then led the Wolverines down the field. Chucky Hanchett attempted a 43-yard field goal as time expired. It fell just short, and Woodland Hills lost to Fox Chapel for the first time in a long time since the mid-90s, 22-21. For Penn-Trafford, they were victorious. They've won all 3 games on the season so far. They defeated Plum by a score of 48-0. It was the second shutout in the first 3 games for the Penn-Trafford Warriors. Their defense has allowed just 3 points on the season. We're going to take a break. I'll welcome Rick McIntyre into the broadcast after that, and we'll talk more about the Warriors and the Wolverines. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network. It is presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Novak Field, Bob Workwitz, Rick McIntyre alongside on the Woodland Hills Football Network. The Penn-Trafford Warriors are here tonight, and Woodland Hills trying to get a victory. They are 0-2 to start the season, Rick, here at the Wolverine, a place where they're usually really good.
Yeah, there's a series of different long winning streaks here at the Wolverine. It's point of pride everybody team has. Your home field, your house. You definitely don't want to come out 0-3, which we discussed before the game. I'm not sure if that's ever actually happened in the existence of the Woodland Hills Wolverines. And what a great night for the rivalry night tonight. Penn-Trafford. There's been some legendary games between Woodland Hills, Penn-Trafford. I was fortunate enough to be a part of one, and actually the gentleman sitting behind me played for Penn-Trafford that year. That Woodland Hills went out there, and I think Melvin Cobbs ran for about 900 yards against them.
For Woodland Hills, it's also homecoming, so that's always special, and you're always a little bit more pumped up. So you got that going for them. They want to avenge the loss, a disappointing loss last week against Fox Chapel on the touchdown run by Nick Gizzo with 43 seconds left, and then the 43-yard field goal from Chucky Hanchard, Rick, falling just shy. One thing that will remain the same from last week, Daniel Jones was injured early in that game. He is not in the lineup tonight, so Michael Whitehurst, who looked really good on that final drive to set up the Hanchard attempt, will get the start again at quarterback for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see what the offense does with Woodland Hills, because obviously those are two completely different style quarterbacks. With Jones, you have a little more flexibility, if you will. With him rolling out, he's really good on his feet. He's maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. Whitehurst strikes me, from last week. We discussed it a couple times. Give him the 3-step, one quick read, go to a secondary guy, 3 steps, quick hit, get rid of the ball. He's very efficient when they set the offense up for him that way.
For Penn-Trafford, 2 shutouts in 3 games. They've only allowed 1 touchdown. It was against the second team late in the game against Connellsville. Last year, they allowed just 15.3 points a game. So
wow.
The defense has carried over for the Penn-Trafford Warriors.
Yeah, this is going to be a really big challenge for this Woodland Hills offense this week. They've got the athletes. They're a very dynamic offense. We've talked about the last 3 or 4 weeks about the running back by committee. They got a lot of horses in that stable, and it's all about what the offensive coordinator does tonight to set them up for success. I expect against this 3-5 really heavy up front defense, probably going to see a lot of spread sets. Get the defense spread out a little bit, isolate that middle linebacker, and go to town.
Penn-Trafford will get the football first to start this contest. You talked about the running back committee. When the offense comes out, we'll talk a little bit more about Rowdy Dinardo and Jaquan Smith. They've both done a good job. Dinardo was over 100 yards in the loss last week against Fox Chapel. Chucky Hanchett to kick it away from right to left in the turquoise and black. It comes down to Penn-Trafford near the 6. Coming to the near side, it is Caleb Lisbon who had a touchdown return in the special teams game in week 1. He gets it out to about the 26-yard line. That is where Penn-Trafford will bring their spread offense at their own 26-yard line with Cam LaFoon. That name really familiar. Brett LaFoon, his older brother, was the starting quarterback and a great one for Penn-Trafford a few years ago. Cam LaFoon runs the show, the senior 3-year starter.
Pretty nice job there on the kickoff coverage there. It looked like Mike Roman coming up the middle, and they're busting up a really nicely set up wedge for Penn-Trafford.
John Gay is the man in the pistol formation. He'll take the handoff, comes through a big hole, gets through it. Good job to come from behind by Josh Rawlings to tackle John Gay, but he gets 6 to the 32, 2nd and 4 for the Warriors.
Yeah, it's going to be the big struggle for Woodland Hills. They're a little bit outsized. I mean, I'm just looking down this field. There's some big boys on that offensive line for Penn-Trafford. Woodland Hills, I think, is going to rely on their speed to maybe counteract that, but when they get the hit on that line of scrimmage, they got to make that tackle.
Logan Hawkins anchors both lines for Penn-Trafford. The senior, 6'2", 270. He is an Akron recruit. Shotgun snap, empty back, a comeback screen to the opposite side to Dimitri George, and he is hit immediately. He will hit stopped right at the line of scrimmage, so good coverage by Woodland Hills. It'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
Nice read there by the entire Woodland Hills right side of that defense. They saw it. They knew exactly what was coming. That's good film work by the coaches and by the team of Woodland Hills.
And it was Tyrell Barlow, who's a lineman, so that's good recognition right there. You normally don't see a lineman getting out on those comeback screens so wide out.
Yeah, it's obviously something that they saw in film. It's something you see in the first couple of steps of the lineman generally will set you off that there's a screen coming.
Twins go opposite. To the right side comes Cam Suman. Twins this way as well. Now a man in motion to the near side. It's Tony Alcott. Empty set. LaFoon looking. Fires it underneath. Alcott makes the catch. Gets close to the first down, then fumbled the football. He was undercut by Jaquan Smith, and it is a turnover. And Woodland Hills gets the football. Jaquan Smith with the fumble recovery at the Penn-Trafford 35. first big break of the game goes in favor of the Wolverines.
Oh, that's just a huge individual effort by Jaquan there. Reads it perfectly, steps up, makes a textbook tackle here. It looks like he puts his helmet right on the ball, and he comes up with the ball himself. He's almost like a turnover machine here the last couple of weeks.
He has been making plays on all aspects of the football field, special teams. He has scored a couple of touchdowns, running the football. Dot and Yai, straight eye behind Michael Whitehurst is Rowdy Dinardo at 103 yards, as I mentioned. He runs to the right. Good cut by Dinardo, and another good one to the outside. He's tripped up. A good tackle by Cam Laffoon, but he does pick up 4 to the 31. If Laffoon doesn't make that ankle tackle, Dinard's in the end zone.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. If Laffoon doesn't, I mean, it was almost like the Roethlisberger, shoestring tackle there. If he doesn't get him here at the end of this play, 2 great cuts here by Dinard. Just makes some great plays here. Cuts there, cuts back. Individual effort, just barely gets that shoestring. He was gone up that right side.
Rowdy Dinard has performed well. I thought he did very well out of the I position last week for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. He gets the job to come, the handoff again to come this side, and Will Mayer at 6'2", 250 brings him down. Give him a yard to the 30. It's going to be 3rd and 5. So
taking a look at that right tackle here. Last 2 plays, I think he's coming off maybe a little bit early.
I think it was even more obvious on that play. Damian Thomas,
was.
Good call, Rick. No flags and no whistles, so you'll take that. Dinard on the season, 181 yards rushing, averages 7 yards a carry. He has 3 touchdowns. He dots the I once again for the Wolverines. Fake the handoff, rolling to the near side. Huertas, the lefty, will throw it. Has a man open. The catch is made by the tight end, Eric Oliver, at the 15. He's forced out of bounds at the 13. First down, Woodland Hills in the red zone.
Nice play-action play there. Woodland Hills is pretty well known for the run. They know Whitehurst isn't necessarily a rollout athlete. Makes a nice play-action play there, a little waggle left. Hits that tight end coming across from the backside, which they never threw when I was a tight end here. Believe it or not, that's the primary receiver in the waggle.
How are your hands? I know they're big, but were they good?
They were horrible, and they're actually freakishly small.
It's an 18-yard pickup, 1st and 10 for the Wolverines at the Penn-Trafford 12. Lone man in the backfield, Dinard. He looks to go to his right, still cutting to the right, gets a block out there from Christopher Jones, tries to cut it back up, and he is denied. Good job on the tandem tackle by Matt Wilkie, the inside linebacker, and Anthony Cervone, the strong safety for Penn-Trafford.
It looked like Woodland Hills came out in a double tight set there, which was a little bit of a surprise for me, with the 3-5 defense and the size they have up front. I'm not sure if that was maybe not the right set to be there. I understand close yardage. You tend to beef it up a little bit, and they're coming back out in double tight here. They might be trying to set up this isolation play out here on the left.
John Ruane was on the screen there, the 8th-year head coach. It's a yard gain for Dinard. Whitehurst 3-step drop. The cut on the post pattern. It is off the fingertips of Nazir Taylor. He had a step on the coverage man, John Gay, the cornerback, but it's off his fingertips and incomplete.
But it almost looks like I know what I'm talking about.
It's great when that happens, right?
It is. When I predict the play, it's reassuring. Pretty good ball there by Whitehurst. I mean, that's a tough ball to catch. They had a little bit of a gap there. Pretty good defense.
3rd and 9 from the 11. 8:22 to go in this first quarter. Whitehurst under center will fake the handoff, roll to the near side. The lefty has room if he can get there. He's being chased, stops, throws it, underthrown, and it's intercepted. Cam Laffoon picks it off, and that is definitely a situation where Whitehurst should have either ran out of bounds or thrown that ball away, Rick.
I agree. I think you throw that one away and you settle for the field goal. I think Mike's just coming in trying to make something out of nothing. The waggle worked a couple plays ago. Wasn't out of the double tight, so it's a little bit different pattern setup. Nobody's open. You got to right now chuck this thing out of bounds.
Pressure on Whitehurst was applied by Dominic Rosso. And then Laffoon intercepts the ball at the 2-yard line. So the Warriors are backed up near their own goal line. So the teams trade turnovers. A fumble for Penn-Trafford here in the first quarter, followed up by an interception thrown by Whitehurst, picked off by Laffoon, who was in the shotgun in his own end zone. Moving from left to right, gets the handoff. He's going to run to the opposite side. He didn't get out of the end zone. That is a safety for the Woodland Hills defense. Teron Best was in there, and the second safety of the year for the Wolverines gives Woodland Hills a 2-0 lead.
I tell you, there's not a person in this town happier than Michael Whitehurst right now for that safety to happen. Kind of wipes away maybe the bad decision. It takes away that interception, gets us 2 points, gets us the ball back with some pretty decent field position.
Initial pressure by Tyrell Barlow along with Bess, and they drop LaFoon in the end zone for the safety in the first 2 points of the game, a 2-0 lead for Woodland Hills. So they'll take that, and you're absolutely right about.
Sorry, I missed my cue there. I'm taunting the Penn-Trafford crew here to my right.
So in lead, it's the first time that Penn-Trafford, Rick, has trailed on the season. It's the first points they've given up in the first quarter in the first half, even though defensively they didn't allow it. But you'll take it if you're Woodland Hills, and now you're going to try to look to get good field position after the free kick.
And another positive thing for Woodland Hills is that last drive leading up to they got that last first down after that nice pass by Whitehurst. They went to the double tight. Didn't get much done there, but previous to that, they had a pretty nice drive going and moving the ball pretty effectively.
It's a real good job by Best and Barlow. Best from the linebacker position and Barlow from the defensive line to slant to their right as LaFoon was running to his left to drop Cam LaFoon in the end zone. Nick Tarabrella will tee it up on the free kick. He's a really good kicker. He has all kind of records, including he has one field goal away from setting the all-time record here at Penn-Trafford, so he could kick it pretty deep. Dinard is back deep in the middle. Jaquan Smith to the near sideline to the far boundary. Nazir Taylor, he's going to bounce it up. Goes over one of the up men. It's going to be picked up by Christopher Jones. Jones to the far side will get it over midfield. He's inside Penn-Trafford territory. Dropped from behind at the 41-yard line, so good field position for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Chase Burke on the tackle of Christopher Jones.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost a perfectly placed kick. You said he's got a pretty good leg, pretty accurate. That's exactly what you want out of that kind of kick. You want to kind of flip it down, have it jump up over that first line. Gives your kickoff coverage a little bit more time to come down and cover. Woodland Hills did a pretty good job to break that a little bit on the right side.
I think Jones did a good job, too, because your tendency, if you're an up man, you don't want to get fancy. Jones did not.
You typically don't want to reach back for the ball.
Or you don't want to – I thought he was thinking about maybe sending it back to Taylor behind him. He just did the good job to turn his shoulders up and square up. Shotgun for Whitehurst with a sidecar to the near side. Now Dinard will come in motion. He'll take the handoff on the jet sweep to the near side. Cuts it up inside at his ankles. Dominic Rosso on top of him. Logan Hawkins. It's a pickup of 2 for Rowdy Dinardo.
Yeah, that's a play I was contemplating this week. We haven't seen a whole lot from is this jet sweep. With the number of weapons we have with this Woodland Hills backfield and the defense keep them guessing, and this is definitely something that's going to keep them in check and is going to set something up later on.
Dinard did a good job because that handoff was not necessarily the cleanest exchange between Whitehurst and Dinard, but he kept possession. Each team has a turnover in the early going. Woodland Hills with an early 2-0 lead. Shotgun for Whitehurst, sidecar to the right is Anthony Meredith. He's going by Bullock earlier in the year. He takes the handoff and gets straight forward for a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for Meredith. That's
again, a little bit sloppy here in the backfield. If you see it, they kind of run into each other here. The motion man came a little bit deep, or maybe the tailback came up a little bit early. Pretty lucky to get the yards we got out of that, because that could have got really ugly really quick.
Tony Alcott, the inside linebacker, makes the tackle. There's Tim Bostard, the head coach for Woodland Hills. 1-2 in his early career here at Woody High. 3rd and 5. We're going to call 3rd. Yeah, we'll give it 5. Flag flies, maybe a pre-snap penalty against Woodland Hills. Mike D. Jarosinski is your referee tonight.
That's it. The right tackle jumped again.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
False start against Woodland Hills. Mike D. Jarosinski and Mike A. Jarosinski on this officiating crew. Father and son deal out there.
Not used to seeing 56 in there at right tackle.
Is that what it is? Is it Bird or is it 50?
I'm seeing 56.
Because Bird was battling a meniscus injury through the first 3 weeks.
56.
He is back in there, and that's a big
big
addition and a big boy. Well, he's a big addition in more than one way.
He's rocking 322. You don't have to jump out that quick, man.
He was all conference last year on both sides of the football, so good to get him back in. Pressure comes. They throw it out to the near side. It is dropped. Jaquan Smith was out in the left flat. He went up to get it. He had inside position on Alcott, but it went off his chest incomplete. It's going to be 4th down for Woodland Hills.
A little bit of pressure there from the right side of Whitehurst. Not a bad ball, not a perfect ball by any means. Definitely catchable. But again, Smith he had some pressure coming at him.
It was Alcott who applied the pressure. He just blew up Meredith, who couldn't sustain the block. Whitehurst will stay out there to kick it away for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Back deep to receive for Penn-Trafford, standing near his own 10-yard line is Anthony Cervone. Whitehurst with a rugby-style kick. Good spiral to the far sideline. Looking for the coffin corner. Takes a great bounce, and he'll get it. It goes out of bounds at the 3-yard line. You can't do that any better.
Oh, that's a textbook kick. That's exactly what they draw up when they run that play. That's more difficult than you might think.
And it's a lost art, too, Rick. You don't see that at many levels anymore.
No, and believe me, I tried kicking the ball a few times. It was embarrassing.
We're about
as most things in my athletic career tended to be.
Halfway through the first quarter. It's a 2-0 lead for Woodland Hills with Rick McIntyre, Bob Workwist on the Woodland Hills Football Network, also on the MSA Sports Network. So the last drive for Penn-Trafford, which resulted in a safety, started at their own 2. This drive starts at their own 3-yard line.
Yeah, another safety here would be a nice bonus.
4-0 start. That would be a baseball score. LaFoon is back in his own end zone in that shotgun, and Gay is behind him. Gay's going to go in motion to the far side. Crabs that way. LaFoon runs that way, gets out, and is upended near the 7-yard line. Good undercut tackle. I believe that was Rawlings who got over there. Jaden Lucas was there as well. But LaFoon does get positive yardage, a gain of 4 to the 7.
Yeah, I was expecting to see some kind of a stunt there from the Woodland Hills defense. Looked like they just played their base 4, simple coverage.
Injury.
Yeah, just basic gap coverage there. Nice play coming up, making that tackle.
Tony Alcott is on the field. It was Michael Coleman who actually made the tackle.
Very nice hit
Alcott
there.
is down. Looked like they may stretch him out. Maybe a cramp situation. Gives us a chance to take a break. 5:57 to go. First quarter, Woodland Hills 2 and Penn-Trafford nothing. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network. It's presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at the Wolverine at George A. Novak Field, Alcott is stretched out. He's coming to the near sideline. Saw one of the training staff on the near side, Rick, on a beautiful night. Partly cloudy, 70 degrees, no wind. Perfect night. They have one of those rolling sticks that they use for cramps. I know from talking to you in the first couple of weeks, you suffer from those. Us old guys, we could use one of those.
I'll tell you, I get a cramp, you bring a rolling pin near me, I'm going to hit you with it. We've been really lucky the first couple of weeks of the season with the weather.
Beautiful weather.
Absolutely.
Hey, handoff to the near side. Caleb Lisbon breaking tackles. He's over the 15, he's over the 20. Up the near sideline, he's got room, and it's a foot race. Lisbon down the near sideline. He is going to go all the way for the Warriors. Caleb Lisbon. He goes 94 yards. The sophomore puts the Warriors in the lead.
That's a backbreaker for that Woodland Hills defense. 1, 2, 3 missed tackles. Excellent effort there by the Penn-Trafford running back to just keep running, keep his feet churning, and just dart up that right sideline.
Could have had him at the 8, the 12, or the 15 on those 3 missed tackles, and he broke all of those, and it was just a foot race, and no one was catching the talented sophomore Lisbon at 5'11", 190. He scores for Penn-Trafford to put the Warriors on top by a score of 6-2. We have another injury, and it's another Penn-Trafford Warrior down for Caleb Lisbon.
And we're looking at Joe Sampson there, the defense coordinator. I'm pretty sure when he looks at that on film, more than the breakdown, the broken tackles, he's going to be looking at that backside and why they didn't cover down the field the way that they're supposed to get to the 50, get to the 40 before the running back gets there. Seemed like they all took a little bit too shallow of a path to try and track that down.
Cam Suman is being helped off the field by the training staff, not putting any pressure at all on his right leg. For Lisbon, his 4th touchdown of the season, his 3rd in the last 2 weeks. with a 96-yard or 94-yard touchdown run for Lisbon. 5:32 in this first quarter remaining. Tarabella's on to add the point after. He's pretty much automatic if you want to look at it for Nick Tarabella, whose father is on the coaching staff, by the way. Tarabella holds the career extra point record at Penn-Trafford, also the most extra points in a season, and he kicked 9 in a game.
9 extra points.
There were some years where Woodland Hills struggled to get their 9 extra points.
I was around for a few of those years, and it was a given we were going to go for 2.
Tarabella out of the hold of Cam Lafone, trying to make it 7-2, and he does just that. 5:32 to go in the first quarter. Penn-Trafford 7 and Woodland Hills 2. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Woodland Hills Football Network. It is brought to you here on the MSA Sports Network as well by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at the Wolverine on the Woodland Hills Football Network, 7-2 lead for Penn-Trafford. I guess they were a little ticked off, Rick, for trailing for the first time all season. It didn't last long. They were behind for just 2 minutes and 36 seconds before Lisbon took care of business on the near sideline with a 94-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, it almost seems to be a trend in some of these Woodland Hills games here lately. The last week, couple big runs kind of broke their back a little bit. Again, another running theme we keep seeing to touch on is this bounce back factor, and see what this Woodland Hills offense can do to try and even the score. Get a nice long drive together, eat some time off the clock, get some momentum going.
Tarabella to kick it away. End over end towards the far sideline. And Nazir Taylor back to his own one. Over the 10, 15, 20, far sideline, 25, 30. Makes a move at the 35, breaks a tackle at the 38. He's over the 40 and dragged down at the 47-yard line. A nice return of 46 yards by Nazir Taylor. And you look at that return team, Taylor, Dinard, and Jaquan Smith, the 3 top playmakers for Woodland Hills back there. Taylor does it on that return.
That's a tough decision for the PT kicker.
It sure is.
Which poison do you choose there? I got a feeling he was trying to kick that thing through the end zone to avoid it.
Taylor did a great job just to go up the far sideline. He has a punt return for a touchdown on the season for Woodland Hills, does Nazir Taylor. So 1st and 10, Woodland Hills has started their first 2 drives in Penn-Trafford territory, this one at their own 47. So really good field position in this first quarter for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. They trail by 5. Whitehurst the throw, 3-step drop far sideline. It's Taylor, makes the catch. He came back, and he's going to be about a yard short of that first down. Good coverage and a closure by Dimitri George, but the completion to Nazir Taylor goes for 9.
Again, this is the textbook play we like to see here. Quick read, 3-step drop. You know, I think that's the C pattern. About a 7-8 yard out, just turn and hook.
Just a stop route.
Yeah, it's a stop route, and it's generally open if they're playing any kind of press coverage.
Do give him 10, so it's a first down for Woodland Hills.
That seems like it was a little generous.
They will take it. He was there, and I thought he came back to the football and stepped away from the sticks.
I would agree.
Ball was in Penn-Trafford territory once again. Dinard trying to go to the right, cuts to the edge, cuts around the corner. Flag behind the play, and it looks like Logan Hawkins was held behind the play. Dinard got 2 yards to the 41, but I believe it's going to come back.
Yeah, the flag was thrown in the direction of the big boy Bird over there. Wait to see on the replay.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
Spot foul, so that comes from the 45, so it's actually a loss of 12, and it was behind the play. You could see it right there.
Yeah, the left hand.
I said it was Hawkins, but it was Mayer, and you saw that pretty clear on that replay.
He had a clean block going. To teach you to get up underneath those shoulder pads, underneath the chest plate in his hands. It looked like it just kind of got caught. He kind of went for a ride. Flag gets thrown.
If you do that when you're infighting inside the line, it's less noticeable.
Oh, there's holding on every play in football.
Oh, there's no doubt. Getting no argument from me there. Whitehurst straight drop, a stop and go route down the far sideline, and this pass is intercepted. With the pick comes Dimitri George, but I think he's stepped out of bounds at the 22, but that is the second interception of the first quarter thrown by Michael Whitehurst. This one picked off by Dimitri George, the junior defensive back.
Yeah, good protection here. I'm not sure what Michael saw. I'm not sure if he saw that free safety coming over the top. Thought he had a one-on-one there with Nazir Taylor, which I would give the odds to Nazir there. Maybe just didn't get enough length on that ball to get it up, get it to the outside.
You bring a good point because Servone, the strong safety, slid over, which created double coverage, and the pass underthrown and intercepted by Dimitri George. So you don't know if Whitehurst maybe saw that the last second and caused the interception, but that's 2 INTs. Gay motions to the near side, an empty set. Cam LaFoon runs to the near side, cuts it up. He is wrapped up from behind and tackled there by Josh Rawlings, but LaFoon does pick up 6 to the 26.
Nice job there by Rawlings to fight off a block and keep his protection, keep his assignment. Makes a nice tackle here. Good work with the hands, sheds them, gets to the ball.
Yeah, he engaged with the fullback, Tony Alcott, who was actually an H-back on that play.
Well, when you have John Carter as your defensive line coach, you're afraid to not do that well. Because he's going to show you real quick how to do it, and it's generally pretty painful.
One of the great members of the coaching staff under Tim Bostard. A lot of ex-Wolverines on this coaching staff. So,
yeah, John Carter was a Pitt graduate of Pitt football, played with the Giants, played with the Cowboys.
Shotgun, they'll throw it. Down and out route from LaFoon. It is overthrown for Dimitri George. Single coverage by Nazir Taylor is incomplete. The Penn-Trafford fans wanted the penalty, but I think the contact was well after the ball was incomplete.
No, that was a pretty clean defense there. Good footwork there by Taylor. Stays with his man, has his eye on the quarterback, sees it all the way. Turns his back, has got his eye on the ball, running for it. I mean, that's a textbook defensive play.
That's incidental contact right there between Taylor and George.
And this PT crowd's looking for a little favor.
Well, they're favoring the green and yellow and gold, and that's white, green, and gold tonight for Penn-Trafford. And again, it was incidental, and it was after the ball was overthrown. So 3rd and 6. Cam LaFoon now 1 for 2 in this first quarter, 3:33 to go. Gay motions out of the backfield to the far side. LaFoon to throw. He tucks it up, steps up, fires to the underneath man. It is caught by Anthony Servone. He fights for the first down, and he lunges forward to the 35. He picks up 9 and a first down for Penn-Trafford.
Yeah, nice second effort there by Servone. Woodland Hills had a chance there. He caught it, I think, ahead of the sticks. Bounced back. Woodland Hills had a chance there to stop him there and force a 4th down. A little bit of a second effort at the end of this play, as you see here.
It was Jaquan
Here's
Smith.
He bounced back, kind of sheds that block there for the tackle by the Roman.
Yep. Roman stops him right there. He's short of the sticks.
Yeah, good footwork there. Keep them legs churning, get that extra yard.
1st and 10. We're going to give it the 36 to make that a 10-yard pickup on the catch by Servone. There's a handoff. I believe that was the first carry of the game or second for John Gay. And he is dropped right at the 36, no gain.
Look like Josh Rawlings again there, doing some work.
It's been pretty active. We've seen a lot of players. You go back to week 1 with Sidney Summers. Smith was active defensively. Tonight, maybe it's Josh Rawlings' night to be the active member of the defense.
We're hearing his name a lot right now, offense and defense.
6'5", 223. He's got some good size as a tight end defensive end.
That's a sizable tight end.
2nd and 10. Gay, the leading rusher on the season for Penn-Trafford. In motion coming to the near side is Alcott for the Warriors. He resets. He'll go right down the middle. The pass is overthrown and almost intercepted by Rowdy Dinardo, but it's off his fingertips and incomplete.
Dinard, he's going to see that in film and cringe. He had a good chance there to pick that and take that up the right sidelines. Interested to see on a replay. I don't know if he got the, as they call it, the gator arms, because there was potentially a pretty bad hit coming to him if he did catch this ball.
Wonder if he was thinking about maybe going to hit the receiver. No, he just couldn't come up with it. I don't think he short-armed it.
No, he didn't short-arm it. It looked like maybe Alcott got his hand on it a little bit, little deflection last second. And if you're not Antonio Brown, that's a tough thing to do.
This is true. Not many people are number 84 in the black and gold. Trips to the near side for Penn-Trafford on 3rd and 10. Gay is in the pistol, and he comes out to the near side. So 4 receivers to the left. Going to the right as Lafoni's under pressure. He is hit, spun, and dropped for a yard loss. Good job to get the pressure there. Teron Best was one of them. Also in on the tackle was Jeremy Turner. That is a loss of 1, and it's going to force a punt for the Warriors.
Yeah, a little stunt there in the middle, flushes him out of the pocket. And that stunt linebacker actually ends up coming back around and making the sack here. Excellent job sticking with the ball.
That was Turner.
Yeah.
Good job to follow along.
He was on a little bit of a mic blitz there.
Low snap, but a good job to get on and get it. How about this? Logan Hawkins is 6'2", 270. He's your punter.
That is a large punter.
Second biggest punter. Back a few years for Central Catholic, they had John Herman, who was their center. John Herman was like 280.
He was big.
Yep. So it's a rarity when you see that.
It is.
So as the last man on the punt return coverage, might not have the speed, but you got the size, and that's a rarity. We mentioned Logan Hawkins is going to Akron, most likely to play defense there. A minute 31 to go in this first quarter. Woodland Hills has their 4th possession of the first 12 minutes. This one starts at their own 30.
Yeah, I don't think Akron's looking at Hawkins.
I'm pretty sure
to be that punt man.
And would you?
Well, I mean, if he can boom it, maybe, but I think he's going to be better served mixing it up with the big dogs.
Rowdy Dinardo is the man in the backfield for Woodland Hills, I believe. I get a whistle and maybe a timeout. It was Jaquan Smith actually behind Michael Whitehurst. Bad personnel package for Woodland Hills.
First charge timeout.
They take the timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. It's Penn-Trafford 7 and Woodland Hills 2. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at the Wolverine after the timeout, a handoff. A little delay to the opposite side. I believe it was Jaquan Smith. His first carry will go for 6 to the 41.
Nice run there by Jaquan. Gets through that first level, a couple bumps, keeps his feet moving. And more importantly, keeps that head upfield, keeps everything square to that end zone, and finds a little extra yardage after the first hit.
Smith is the second leading rusher on the season for Woodland Hills, 126 yards coming into tonight's game. He averages 5.5 yards a carry. Dinardo was at 7 yards a carry. That's pretty good stuff by that running back by committee. Those two lead the way. 2nd and 4 with under a minute to go. Whitehurst will roll to his left, gets pressure, steps back. This time he throws it away. Lesson learned for Michael Whitehurst after the interception earlier.
Good decision here by Michael. There was just nothing there from the start. Defense made some good reads there. Coverage was pretty solid. They didn't buy it. It was a little bit of a counter fake here. They were hoping to draw the secondary in, draw him to the right side, roll back left. Nobody was buying, throw it out of bounds.
Will Mayer on the initial pressure, and then the secondary pressure came. He kind of reset his rollout to the near side too, but then threw it away to the near sideline. So 3rd and 4 for Woodland Hills. Nazir Taylor comes to the near side in this formation. Lone man in the backfield, I believe it remains Jaquan Smith. A tight end will go in motion. Actually, Taylor will crab to the right side. They'll run to the right side with Jaquan Smith around the Taylor block. Gets the first down and more. He's out over the 45, tripped up near the 47, but a first down on the tackle for Penn-Trafford. Anthony Cervone. It is first down number 3 for Woodland Hills.
Nice surge there up the right side of the offensive line. Again, behind Big Boy Bird. He handles his man one-on-one. Just long enough. Get that peel back block there from Michael Lucas. Frees him up on the right side. Nice little gain.
1st and 10 after the 10-yard pickup, which may be the final play of the first quarter for Woodland Hills. Whitehurst goes under center. They'll hand it off. Jaquan Smith coming to the near side. Nothing doing this time. He breaks the tackle of Will Mayer, but then coming in to finish the deal Anthony Cervone, and it'll be a loss of 4 back to the 42 for Jaquan Smith.
Oh, this PT defense, you're going to get plays like that. You know, they're big, they're dominant, they're very aggressive, and again, they are big. So every play is not going to bust that down the field. That offensive line's got to keep their head up, keep moving, keep churning, wait for that big break.
First quarter's in the books after 1 from the Wolverina. It is Penn-Trafford 7 and Woodland Hills 2. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network and the MSA Sports Network. Coverage tonight is brought to you by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and surrounding areas for over 111 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home is pleased to announce the opening of their new crematory at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that our crematory is used exclusively for the families we serve.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Second quarter begins. Nazir Taylor on the near sideline. Single coverage by Caleb Lisbon. The pass just a little too tall and overthrown on the near boundary from Michael Whitehurst. It'll be 3rd and 14 for Woodland Hills. They've had 4 possessions. You'd like to get some points offensively, including great field position on 3 of the 4, Rick. And you need a big 3rd down conversion here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, this is a crucial play here. That really like to see a conversion here. This, I think, would boost a lot of momentum. And again, I'm looking for Whitehurst to drop back, make maybe a 5-step drop here, some 60 protection, jam on the front, fan on the back, let the ball loose.
From the sidecar to the right under the shotgun, and 3 wide receivers to the near sideline. Pressure comes. Whitehurst avoids it. He's got room. He's over the 50. He gets the first down and steps out of bounds. Nice recognition by Michael Whitehurst. The pressure came from the far side by Alcott. He avoided it, sprinted up the far sideline, and picks up the first down for Woodland Hills.
That's just a savvy play by Whitehurst, because the shotgun left-handed. That's his left-hander. That's his front side. So he has an easy, pretty good read on that. Sees the blitz coming. Nobody picked him up, and showed a little speed there, getting to the outside.
Savvy.
Must
have been studying this week.
I think I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean. Savvy.
First down. Whitehurst picked up 14, and that's just enough. Woodland Hills again in Penn-Trafford territory. Our full drives, they've been there. Pass to the near side, little wide receiver screen to Dinard. He gets a man on his back. It's John Peduzzi, and Dinard carries him forward for about a 1-yard pickup. He's dropped at the 42 of Penn-Trafford.
That's a formation I don't think we've seen yet this year from Woodland Hills. Looked like a quad right, like a diamond setup, which if you're Penn-Trafford on defense, it almost pre-read as a screen.
You're trying to get a block and then get Dinard, one of your playmakers, in space.
Exactly. If you get Dinard out there in open field and he gets a little bit of a crack, he can definitely break that. I'm looking to see Woodland Hills kind of establish his run game again. They've had some success with Jaquan, a couple nice runs with number 9 down there.
Twins either way for Whitehurst in the shotgun. A power pistol wheel. Dinard in motion to the opposite side, and they're going to get a flag whenever it's a delay. The running back was Anthony Meredith. I don't know if it's a movement. It's a false start.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
3 penalties in this first half, all flagged against Woodland Hills.
Yeah, I didn't see who jumped there. I had the feeling that was going to be a delay of game. And oddly enough, I think Woodland Hills is one of the few fields around that doesn't have the play clock displayed for the quarterbacks.
Tyrell Barlow with a flinch.
Yeah, that's a good
Not
call.
Much of one, but
yeah,
enough
to draw that flag.
Thought it might have happened when Dinard was going in motion. So it'll be 2nd and 14. Dinard goes in motion to the opposite side once again. Meredith is the sidecar. He clears out, rolling to his left. is Whitehurst being chased, throws it away. Pressure was on the backside by middle linebacker Matt Wilkie. And again, second straight time we've seen Whitehurst not trying to force anything. He threw it away after the early INT.
Yeah, solid decision there again, Whitehurst. I mean, you hate to compliment him on throwing the ball away. You want to see a little more positive things happening, but after that interception, this is what you want to see out of him, is not forcing it up the field.
Came into tonight's game with 16 attempts, did Michael Whitehurst. He's got 10 already in this first half.
Yeah, he's getting a little more action than I think he anticipated early in the season. But he's a smart kid. Obviously, he can play defense, offense, a couple different positions on each
and
side.
Not inexperienced, too. He split time
Yeah.
with Jones last year, so he has played quarterback before. Sets up the offense. Trips come to the right for Woodland Hills on 3rd and long. Whitehurst straight drop. Gets pressure again. Gets away from Hawkins. Sets, fires on the comeback route, but it's underthrown near the sticks on the far sideline. Nazir Taylor tried to come back as a good wide receiver do, but Whitehurst couldn't get enough zip on it. And that's probably because 6'2" and 270 was chasing him from behind.
Yeah, I think 3rd and long, 2nd and long, 3rd and long is a bad number for Woodland Hills right now. They need to jump out on that first down, get a nice run, then they get that option of the play action, and I think it opens up their offense a little bit.
See Hawkins on the chase. He also had some opportunities or some scholarship offers from Eastern Michigan, Robert Morris, Delaware, Ball State, Navy and Army, Notre Dame College in Ohio, the Citadel. He's a 3-year starter. After this punt, I'll give you a guess on what his nickname is. It's a typical big guy nickname. I'll give you that hint. Good kick by Whitehurst down the near side. Coming over is Cervone, and he gets around the first man. The second man trips him up. He stumbles up to the 18-yard line, and Penn-Trafford will take over at their own 18 with 10:15 to go in the second quarter. The Warriors leading 7-2.
So who's the name that we're looking for the nickname for?
Logan Hawkins.
The big guy nickname for me has always been Murph.
Murph is incorrect.
Okay.
Bubba.
There's actually a Murph sitting right down there.
He goes by Bubba.
That would be my second guess.
That's a big guy nickname. He is in the center for Penn-Trafford defensively. He's the nose tackle on defense, so he's at the center of both lines and the anchor of both lines for the Warriors.
He looks like a Bubba.
Empty set for Cam LaFoon. Actually, it is a pistol formation and a wildcat with Caleb Lisbon, who takes the direct snap, not LaFoon. And Lisbon goes off of right tackle between right guard and right tackle, and he picks up 3 to the 21. That's his first carry since he ripped off the 94-yard touchdown in the first quarter.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of broken tackles already here. It's pretty early in the second quarter. Got him behind the line of scrimmage, and you got to wrap that tackle up.
Broke the initial tackle and then went forward to Lisbon. We'll give him 4, called 2nd and 6 for the Warriors, and he remains in the Wildcat formation. Caleb Lisbon, just the sophomore. He actually has the power pistol with a running back behind him. He'll fake the handoff, throw it to LaFoon, who's back in there, has the man. It's catch and run over midfield. On the run is Cam Suman, who returns from the cramp. He's inside the 35 and dragged down at the 34-yard line by Michael Roman.
He's coming off a little shaky there, but excellent play call by the PT offensive coordinator. I think he identified they're going to be in zone, found that soft spot in the zone, right between the second and that third level, and just fires a bullet right in there into that soft spot, and it's off to the races.
44-yard pickup on the catch and run by Cam Suman, all the way to the Woodland Hills 34-yard line. 1st and 10 there. LaFoon is back at quarterback with Lisbon, a sidecar left. Twins to the right for Penn-Trafford. They'll fake the handoff. LaFoon steps up, hit, breaks the tackle. He'll flip it down and has his man, who is drilled, but the catch made by Jake Brady. You got to take a hit to make the play, and Brady did so.
Yeah, Tyro Barler there had nice penetration up the middle, makes a nice hit, gets his hands on him, just can't get him down. That quarterback from Penn-Trafford keeps his feet moving. I can't believe he didn't go down there.
And then a good job to recognize he had a man open in the middle of the field, and Brady made the catch. He was drilled down by Jaquan Smith, but he picked up 9 on the catch.
Yeah, excellent job holding on to that ball. It was a pretty good hit there.
2nd and 1. LaFoon in the shotgun, the pistol. Landed off to Lisbon. Cuts, first down. He's over the 20. dashes inside the 15 and is dropped at the 13. That is a pickup of 12 for Cam Lisbon. He's now over 100 yards in the first quarter.
A little momentum going here for Penn-Trafford. They seem to be just kind of moving the ball at will almost. Seems like the last couple plays.
This is great athletic individual effort by him. Big hole, too. That helps.
Absolutely. Big hole there. Breaks a couple tackles. Again, it seems to be a running theme right now.
1st and 10 for the Warriors at the 13. Lisbon cuts back to the right. Good job on the ankle tackle. Is knifing in from the far side. Teron Best. He drops Lisbon at the 10, a pickup of 3.
Nice job there collapsing down that line. You know, when you get penetration as defensive lineman, you're taught to not to penetrate too far. You get caught in that counter, you collapse down the line, try to find the ball. Does an excellent job there and make the tackle.
4 carries, 113 yards in this first half for Lisbon. 7.5 still remaining in the second quarter. 7-2 lead for the Warriors. Barlow was also in on the tackle for Woodland Hills. LaFoon steps up, puts the man in motion, and coming to the near side is Dimitri George. LaFoon takes the snap, runs with Lisbon as a blocker, cuts it up inside, puts his shoulder down, and bowls into the end zone. A 10-yard run, call it 11 for Cam LaFoon, and Penn-Trafford has taken a 13-2 lead.
Yeah, that to me looked like a run all the way. As soon as he gets that and turns, he's tucking it. I mean, that's a play call from the snap.
He read the block well for Lisbon. Just
Absolutely.
following that block, and Lisbon did.
Yeah,
he kind of missed it, but a good cut back inside by LaFoon.
Yeah. And when you have an athletic quarterback like that, why not let him run out and let that tailback block, and then you got an extra man downfield.
Tarabella on to try to make it a 14-2 lead.
He missed it.
And that is no good. A rare miss for Nick Tarabella. Penn-Trafford, though, has scored 13 unanswered after Woodland Hills had the early safety. 7:10 to go, second quarter. It is Penn-Trafford 13, Woodland Hills 2. We'll take a break. You are tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network. It is presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
Everyone here.
Larry and the Schaefer sounds like a really bad jazz
Sounds
band.
like a doo-wop.
Sounds like a horrible jazz band. Larry and the Schaefers.
13-2 lead for Penn-Trafford after the Cam LaFoon 11-yard touchdown run. Tarabella to kick it off. To our left, Dinard in the middle. Jaquan Smith to the far sideline to the near boundary, Nazir Taylor. Tarabella lines it to the up man. Good catch by Teron Best. He's over the 35, cuts back at the 39. Still on his feet, finally. Hanging on to him, Jake Brady. And Woodland Hills will start at their own 39, trailing by 11.
Yeah, you caught it there. Excellent catch by Best. I mean, that thing was a bullet right into his chest.
Some steam on it, absolutely.
It sure did. It's that mid-up back, you dream about getting that ball and taking it to the house.
I think the Warriors coaching staff might have been tuned in to your broadcast because they realized 10-9-1 at the back line, and they kicked it to the up man.
Yeah, I think we're going to see it a lot more this year. And you might start seeing one of those guys move up to the midfield.
1st and 10, Woodland Hills coming to the near side. Michael Coleman, the wide out. The wide receiver is Taylor to the opposite side. I back with Dinard dotting the I behind Whitehurst under center. 3-step drop near side. There's someone on the not the same page as Coleman ran a fly pattern, and Whitehurst was expecting a down and out.
Yeah, he was expecting that D pattern, and the wideout ran the one, the streak up the field. Those things happen. I mean, I'm not sure how much workout Whitehurst got with his receivers this week. I don't know if Jones was working out and was expected to play, but
I think John Ruane, the head coach for Penn-Trafford, was the nearest receiver eligible to that football.
But, hey, it's high school football, baby. These are kids out there.
Absolutely. You'll see it at any level sometimes, not on the same page. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Dinard is the lone man in the backfield. Wide receiver each way. They're going to run to the left. Dinard cuts it around the far edge over the 40, 45, 50. John Gay is angling him out of bounds at the Penn-Trafford 46-yard line, but a nice pickup and a first down inside Warrior territory. They're going to spot Dinard out at the 48.
Nice job there. The left side defensive line handles it. That right guard pull there, nice job by Tyrell Barlow. And I'll tell you what, right now, the way I'm looking at this offense, I keep feeding number 9.
I would too.
He seems to have the hot hand.
Dinard has interest from Howard University, West Virginia Wesleyan, St. Francis, Duquesne, and New Hampshire. And you can see it. That's great speed to get around the left edge by Rodney Dinard. 1st and 10, and again, every drive Woodland Hills has been in Penn-Trafford territory. They have no offensive points to show for it. Underneath pass is caught by the big, tall 6'1 freshman Davian Rochelle. It's short yardage, but it is a gain of 5. We'll call it 4, actually, call it 5 to the 44 of the Warriors.
I'll tell you, I'm pretty sure that's the play call they were looking for, that Michael was looking for on that first down in the last series, or before the first down. Now they're set up with a decent, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. Set yourself up with the play action. Nice run here.
Rochelle had a catch last week and lost to Fox Chapel. There's Dinard coming to his left, hit by one of the outside linebackers, the right outside linebacker, Cam LaFoon. He picks up 3, does Dinard. It's going to be 3rd and short. 3rd and much more manageable for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I like the play calling here. I like the way the offense is functioning, the way it's executing. Like I said, that 3rd and long is going to set up Whitehurst to have to take that rollout, have to take that deeper drop, and it allows that dominant Penn-Trafford defensive line to penetrate, put pressure. 3rd and short's a whole different story.
7 carries, 22 yards for Dinard. Whitehurst drops it. They still give the delay handoff to Jaquan Smith, but the timing is blown up, and Smith is dropped for a loss of 1 in the backfield.
Yeah, that's just a broken play from the start. We saw that last week. Pretty costly fumble, the snap exchange late in the game.
He's fortunate to pick it up, and they did try to get it to Smith, but again, Smith
again,
had to wait. And
like the snap last week, it doesn't look to me like Whitehurst is pulling out early. Looks like maybe that center's just not getting the ball back there. But
center would be Andrew Alexander.
I'm not trying to sit here and criticize a 17-year-old kid either.
Sure. 4th and 4. They're going to keep the offense out there. Whitehurst under center against the 3-5 defense. And there's the procedure call as the right guard moves for Woodland Hills and turns a 4th and 4 into a 4th and 9.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And Whitehurst will stay out there, but he's out there to kick it away this time.
Yeah, looked to me like someone on the left side, maybe the left tackle. Just bobbed his head a little bit.
Might have been Hilliard. Well, it's on the inside there, so it might have been it's the guard.
Yeah, left tackle.
Actually, the guard over there stood up.
I guess multiple infractions.
So it brings on Whitehurst. Good snap, and again, the rugby-style kick. He's been good tonight. He booms this one. Backpedaling and calling for the fair catch is the return man. I believe that was Anthony Cervone, and he's inside his 10. They spot at the 8, so the Warriors have had the worst field position, yet they have a 13-2 lead. Woodland Hills has had 5 drives. 2 have started inside Warrior territory. All 5 have been in the Warriors territory. You can watch this, and you might be watching this on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Woodland Hills Football Network, WH Football Network.
Way to spit that out, brother. Yeah, field position has been actually pretty intriguing in this game to look at the scoreboard.
Well, the one thing that flipped it was the 94-yard run by Lisbon.
94-yard run, and it struck me when you said he's had 4 carries for 113 yards in the first half. And I went, wow, I didn't see anybody dominating that much. Oh, no, he had a 100-yard run.
Pretty much. 1st and 10 from their own 8. The Warriors moving from right to left. Man in motion to the near side. Suman's back in after another cramp. John Gay coming to the near edge. Breaks the tackle and still keeping the leg drive going. And it gets over the 15 to about the 17-yard line. Sidney Summers, among other, bring John Gay the 4th down on the near sideline.
Yeah, again, this Penn-Trafford, everybody that touches this ball is just churning their feet. And it's taken, I think I counted 6 hats on the ball before they get them down here. Let's count.
The first man
coming
was
off.
Lucas.
There's 1,
yep.
2,
Smith is
3,
2. There's 3,
4, 5, and then
and those
4 came back for 6.
and 5 came back for 7.
Yeah, it's taken 6-7 hits to get these guys down. And
it's a 10-yard gain, a first down for the Warriors. Ball at the 18, man in motion. Going to the far side, Anthony Cervone. Pistol formation. LaFoon's going to run it behind Gay to the near side. Gets a good block. Good pursuit from behind by Tyrell Barlow. And he drops LaFoon down for a pickup of 3 near the 21. Also on the tackle, Teron Best for the Wolverines.
And Jaden Lucas gets a +1 for me here on film breakdown. Does a nice job getting out, taking on the block, turning it inside, keeping that quarterback from getting that outside leverage.
And you realize in the film room, that's where you get that credit, because you're not going to get on the score sheet for taking a blocker on like that.
Exactly.
Good call by you, Rick. And he forced him inside, and if he gets to the outside, maybe it's a bigger gainer. Picked up 3, 2nd and 7, and again, man in motion to the opposite side is Nick Stifler. They'll fake the handoff. LaFoon the throw down the middle. It is Stifler, and he was wide open for the pass, misfired, overthrown. Closest man on the coverage for Woodland Hills was Rowdy Dinardo.
I tell you what, I don't think that's the last time we're going to see that type of play there.
Well, they made a completion on that
they
earlier.
Did.
And Stifler
almost
was
an
open.
identical play. There's a little bit of a soft spot there, just behind the linebackers before the secondary. Looks like Penn-Trafford's trying to clear everybody out in the secondary and run somebody up that middle. Obviously, they saw something in film that led them to believe that there's a soft spot there, and so far it's working. A little bit of an errant pass there.
Timeout.
Penn-Trafford takes a timeout. We'll break as well. 3:51 to go before halftime. Penn-Trafford 13, Woodland Hills 2. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Glad you're aboard on the YouTube channel or Facebook or the MSA Sports Network. No matter how you're getting Woodland Hills football, we appreciate it. 13-2 lead for Penn-Trafford here at the Wolverina. They have faced with a 3rd and 7 at their own 21. The Warriors moving right to left. After the Woodland Hills timeout, motioning to the near side, Suman, so Twins either way. LaFoon straight drop, steps up, has time, throws the home run ball down the middle, but Suman was running in route, and the ball went over his head to the near sideline or to the near hash, and it's incomplete. That'll force a punt for Penn-Trafford.
Yeah, good pressure there by the defensive line for Woodland Hills. The tight end number 7, it looked like maybe did 17 get around that corner too? Yeah, I mean, those 2 kids are playing both sides of the ball, playing it very well.
Suman cut inside on the cover from Jaden Lucas. Another punt for Logan Hawkins. Gets the snap and gets it away high, but really short. This will again be great field position for the Wolverines. That ball is down at the Penn-Trafford 38. Eventually, you need to take advantage of this field position if you're Woodland Hills.
Yeah, you kind of read my mind there, Bob. Looking at the clock now, it's 3:36 left in the first half. You got the ball inside the 40. It's a little early in the game maybe to say do or die, but you don't want to go into halftime having this opportunity and not at least get some points on the board for this.
6 possessions, and every time you've been in your opponent's territory, you have no points to show for it offensively.
Well, this PT defense is pretty solid. They've been pretty good all year.
That's one of the reasons, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've only given up 7 points, and that was a second-team touchdown. This first-team defense has not a lot of point yet for the Warriors. Good hesitation move and good yardage inside the 30 on that carry is Anthony Meredith. He's dropped down at the 28. A good pickup of 8 on first down for Meredith.
Yeah, I like the run on first down. Get some good offensive blocking here by the line. Nice pickup block there. Good read, finds the hole, gets up there, gets a good yard, and again, setting up that short yardage situation.
It was big to Vega Bird. Bird opened some holes. He got a chip block, and then he slid out and made a secondary block, too.
I think I have a new favorite Wolverine, man. I like Big Boy.
2nd and 2. Meredith again gets into the line. Is drilled this time. Cam LaFoon The 6'2", 210-pound senior makes the stick on Meredith, no gain.
All right, so what do you go with here, Bob? You got third and a long 2. 2 minutes left in the court.
I'm going to stick with the run, but I think Woodland Hills has maybe been successful, but it's been Dinardo getting the edge. But maybe you try to go, instead of straight up between the center and the guard in that one hole, go to the outside a little bit. Meredith dots the I. Do have Marcus Taylor in as the fullback on 3rd and 2. They're going to go up the guy. Takes the hit, but keeps the legs churning, does Anthony Meredith, and he's going to be close to that first down. Good stick again, putting his head up, Dominic Rosso for the Penn-Trafford Warriors. But to Meredith's credit, he kept the leg drive going. I think he picks up the first down, indeed he does.
That was explosive, to say the least. Pretty good reaction by the crowd here. Big hit coming up, keeps his feet moving. And they did exactly what you said. They hit that one hole, find that little skinny hole, keep it going.
1st and 10, ball at the 27-yard line. Woodland Hills does have 2 timeouts as we go under 2 minutes in the second quarter. They're trailing 13-2. They fake the handoff. Whitehurst rolling to the near side underneath. Too hard, and it's intercepted. He threw it too hard to the underneath man off the fingertips of Marcus Taylor. Caleb Lisbon with the INT. 3rd interception of the first half for the Warriors.
The real shame here is I think it was number 3 on that backside there.
Now, you were pointing to it.
He was wide open on that backside post, which is not an easy ball to throw for a left-handed quarterback rolling right, which I kind of question the play call there. Why do we have our left-handed quarterback rolling out right? That's
a tough throw, and you're right. It's almost impossible to stop and throw
back.
I
think if you flip that play and everything stays the same, I think he can hit that guy, backside hitting that post.
Penn-Trafford will motion a man out. 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Comeback screen to Nico Santamoro. He makes a move and cuts it back. Good coverage by the Wolverines with Sidney Summers coming off the pile along with Tyrell Barlow, who's been pretty active. That is a pickup of 3 for Santamoro.
Yeah, Barlow's having a pretty good game here. Making a lot of good reads. Defense does a good job here, not over-penetrating, not over-committing, sticking with the ball, sticking with what they know from film.
And here's another thing. To his credit, second time we've said this, he's an interior lineman, and he comes out to the outside of the hashes to make that tackle.
Absolutely. Well, if you don't, you got John Carter on your butt.
So I'm going to remember that. And being an ex-NFLer, yeah, I could see that working. Handoff. Lisbon makes a move, makes a second move, breaks a tackle, and he's forward to the 24. That is a pickup of 9 for Lisbon and a first down for Penn-Trafford. Color impressed with Caleb Lisbon, the sophomore for Penn-Trafford.
Again, you read my mind. I was about to say something along the same lines. This kid knows football. He can run the ball. You can just tell with some kids the way they handle the ball.
His brother played a couple of years ago on the Penn-Trafford runner-up team and went to Robert Morris. LaFoon running, undercut on the far side by Meredith, but not before LaFoon gets out to the 42 with a pickup of 8.
Good open field tackle there by Meredith. That could have really broke up that right side. He breaks down, takes him low, doesn't give him any options.
LaFoon in the pistol, hand it off. It'll come to Lisbon trying to come to the near side. Makes a man miss and does get the first down. Summers brings him down, but not before he gets a gain of, call it 4 to the 46.
Another first down. Stops the clock, which is an important factor right now with under 30 seconds left.
Trafford, I believe, has 2 timeouts remaining. LaFoon to throw. Gets pressure, breaks out of it. Goes back to the opposite side, still looking to throw wide open. He finds his man, Anthony Cervone. He's inside the Woodland Hills 40, inside the 35, over the 20, and he's angled out of bounds by Michael Coleman at the 28. Good improvisation by Cam LaFoon.
Yeah, that's something you see at the pro level a lot. It's one of Roethlisberger's strengths is when he breaks free. It's so difficult at any level as a defensive back to cover somebody for that long.
26-yard pickup to Anthony Cervone all the way to the 28, and you're within field goal range. That's the outside of the range for Terrabrella, but he's got a pretty strong leg. You might need 8 more yards if you're the Warriors to set up Terrabrella for a late field goal attempt.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous for us to be even discussing field goal around the 30 in high school football, but this kid's got a pretty solid leg.
He would chance it. Why not?
Yeah.
LaFoon fakes the handoff to Lisbon. wants to throw the stop and go route. Has his man behind the defense. That is a touchdown to Anthony Cervone from 28 yards. Laffoon to Cervone, and it's 19-2 Penn-Trafford with 3 seconds to go in the second quarter.
That was just seemed like straight up one-on-one coverage out there. I didn't catch the number on the corner there for.
I want to say Coleman.
I think that's right. I think he plays that left defensive back, and couldn't tell if there was maybe a little bit of a hitch that he bought.
I think he did. There's the
little,
stop.
Little hitch and go.
There's the go, a little push off.
Yep, and he just didn't see him breaking downfield. I don't know if he thought he had rollover coverage.
Yeah. Tower ball on. They have the PAT, and it is good. So Penn-Trafford strikes late. They've scored 20 unanswered. They have a 20-2 lead over Woodland Hills with 3.9 seconds to go. And Laffoon now has a touchdown pass to go along with his touchdown run.
Yeah, this is a pretty dynamic Penn-Trafford team we're sitting here on both sides of the ball. You know, right now they're pretty well dominating everything other than field position until they tend to drive it down the field. Yeah, the way he played that, it looked like he thought he had, cover 3 rollover, and I don't know if it was miscommunication. You could see there Jaden Lucas came over a little bit late. You could tell he was, obviously it's a touchdown going down in front of him, and I don't know if he was frustrated because he thought he knew he was supposed to be over there.
And when you watch this, unless you're watching it in film or you're an ex-player like yourself, you're thinking, man, what's the cornerback doing? But you're expecting safety help. There's nothing you can do.
Exactly. If and again, it's a speculation, but if that was the case, he thought he had rollover coverage. He did it very well. If he misheard the play in the huddle, then it's on him. But we don't know. Maybe I'll ask Timmy after the game.
20 unanswered for the Penn-Trafford Warriors. Cam Laffoon has a touchdown run and a touchdown pass. Cervone just got the 28-yard touchdown for the Warriors, and it was Cam Lisbon who got things started with a 94-yard touchdown run for Penn-Trafford after Woodland Hills had the first 2 points of the game on a safety.
Yeah, really, the first, opening 5 minutes of the first quarter, Woodland Hills really looked like they were coming out firing, and it's been all PT since.
Short bouncing kick picked up by one of the up men and coming to the near side. That is Toron Best again, trying to put the jukes on. And Nico Santamora was there. He drops him at the 41 as the first half comes to an end. It was a good start for Woodland Hills with the opening safety, but for Penn-Trafford, they've scored the next 20 points. And they go in at the half, leading the Woodland Hills Wolverines by a score of 20-2. The Laffoon was tackled in the end zone by Best and Barlow on the first series of the game, actually 8:08 in this first quarter. And it was a 2-0 lead for Woodland Hills, but Woodland Hills could not take advantage of the field position, which is one of the storylines in the first half. And then on their second possession, with 5:32 to go in the first quarter, it was a 94-yard touchdown run by Cam Lisbon. Then Cam Laffoon, an 11-yard touchdown run, 7:10 in the second quarter. And then with 3 seconds to go before halftime, Anthony Cervone, a 28-yard reception from Cam Laffoon. And it's Penn-Trafford leading Woodland Hills by a score of 20-2 at halftime. We'll have more of the halftime show. Don't forget, though, you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/WHFootballNet. Penn-Trafford 20 and Woodland Hills 2. You're listening to Woodland Hills Football on the MSA Sports Network. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network. It is presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
A-Boss Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at A-Boss will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, A-Boss Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make A-Boss Opticians your opticians. Call A-Boss Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abossopticians.com.
Welcome back to the Wolverine, George A. Novak Field. The Woodland Hills Wolverines in search of their first home victory. They started with a 2-0 lead, but Penn-Trafford has put up 20 unanswered to lead by a score of 20-2. And I agree with one of the words you used to describe the offense, dynamic for Penn-Trafford. Multifaceted would be another one. They can hurt you running the football and also throwing the football. They've done so with Cam Laffoon and Caleb Lisbon, in the first half to lead Woodland Hills by 18.
Yeah, and I think the story of the defense right now for Woodland Hills is that off and on they're getting a good penetration. I think the defensive line is doing a really nice job holding up to this fairly large Penn-Trafford front. There's been a couple blown coverage plays, and I think a lot of blown tackles. I mean, the one play I think we counted 6 or 7. You can call them missed tackles. And I think that's kind of what they're going to be focusing on halftime here. And then offensively for Woodland Hills, what I would like to see is I think they need to spread this defense out a little more than they did in the first half, and clear out with those outside receivers and let Whitehurst drop back, get that nice little 3-step drop, hit them quick outs because they're going to be open all night.
4 of 14 in the first half for Michael Whitehurst, so that's a lot of pass attempts. The other big stat, at least in my mind, we're talking about the field position as well, Rick, 3 interceptions.
Yeah, the 3 interceptions, that's going to hurt anybody. Obviously, the one was just a bad decision, should have thrown it out of bounds. The other one was basically a one-on-one. You're
the one bad luck one was a deflected off the receiver's
hands. Yeah, there's a deflection, and the one down on the other end maybe just need to get a little more oomph on the ball. But Whitehurst is a pretty resilient kid. I think he's going to come out firing in the second half. I think we're going to see a little more Rowdy Dinardo pounding up the middle, and I think they're going to counter that with, again, that spread offense, hopefully hitting the outside flats because I think they're going to be open all night.
7 carries for 22 yards for Rowdy Dinardo. He started off pretty good. He had a 13-yard run as well, but then the personnel changes. He was not in there to touch the football late in the half. And again, the Penn-Trafford Warriors trailed 2-0. Laffoon was tackled in the end zone. It was a 2-0 lead for Woodland Hills. Cam Lisbon, a 94-yard touchdown run. Laffoon, an 11-yard run, and then a 28-yard touchdown pass from Laffoon to Anthony Cervone. And at the half, it is Penn-Trafford leading by a score of 20-2. We're going to take a look and a listen on the Woodland Hills Football Network to the Penn-Trafford Band and also the Woodland Hills Band. And on the MSA Sports Network, we will give you the MSA Sports halftime show. You're listening to the Woodland Hills Football Network and also watching it. It's presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
You're listening to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, A-Boss Opticians, the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network halftime show.
Back at the Wolverine at the half, it is the Penn-Trafford Warriors on the road, leading the Woodland Hills Wolverines by a score of 20-2. It was a 2-0 lead for Woodland Hills, 20 unanswered points for the Penn-Trafford Warriors to take this lead at the half. Take a break. Rick McIntyre and I will come back and delve into the first half a little bit more and let you know what to expect in half number 2 as Penn-Trafford takes on Woodland Hills here at George A. Novak Field. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network. It's presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at the Wolverine, Bob Orquist joined by Rick McIntyre. It is 20-2, Penn-Trafford leading the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Caleb Lisbon has a 94-yard touchdown run for the Penn-Trafford Warriors. Cam Buffoon, touchdown run and a touchdown pass for Penn-Trafford after Woodland Hills took a 2-0 lead. And again, opportunities were there for Woodland Hills with a great field position, but no points offensively. Part of that, I think, was a good call by you in the first half, Rick, how well the Penn-Trafford defense has been playing.
Absolutely, and I think one of the keys to beating this, when you're a smaller team and you're facing a bigger defense, one of the keys is you got to spread the field a little bit. And when you get a good drive together and then you run into short yardage, running into that end zone, a little bit easier for the defense to stay compact. And that's something that the Woodland Hills is running into when they get to the end of those drives, is they're not finding the room necessary. But again, like I said before the break, what I'd like to see from Woodland Hills is a little more spread, a little more double twins, and just keep feeding number 9. Let him run up that middle. He seems to be having some pretty good success there. A couple, play actions, and I think again, you clear out with the wide receivers, let that inside twin hit to the outside to the flats, and Whitehurst is pretty adept at that 3-step drop, turn, fire. I think that's going to be there all day, especially if we set it up with the run.
One thing, Rick, too, being down by 18 points, you don't really have to totally abandon your game plan.
Right.
But you eventually need to get some points offensively with your Woodland Hills. I agree with you. Maybe open it up for Dinardo at 22 yards on 7 carries in the first half, coming off a 100-yard performance last week against Fox Chapel.
Yeah, and again, he didn't get a whole lot of carries. I mean, that's a uncharacteristically low number for running back at Woodland Hills in the first half, especially somebody that seems to be running the ball well, has the hot hand. I think we're going to see a lot more of him carrying the ball in the second half here.
Penn-Trafford came into tonight's contest ranked number 5 as far as the 5A top 10 on the MSA Sports Network. Woodland Hills hanging again at number 8. Woodland Hills obviously non-conference. West Allegheny, Hampton, and Upper St. Clair are atop this Allegheny 9 conference with Woodland Hills with 2-0 records. It'll be back to the grind next week for Woodland Hills with a road game against Chartiers Valley, but you still got 24 minutes, and you want to try to put things together as you move forward to the remainder of your conference schedule. And this is one of the last times with a non-conference game, Rick, that you can tweak if you're the coaching staff.
Absolutely, and this is, when you're a coach and you're in this kind of situation, you're looking at your kids on that field to see how they react, see how they learn, and how they – you're going to see some kids that put their head down, some kids that are getting more fired up down by 18, and those kids that are a little more fired up, those are the ones that are going to get the play call.
It will be Woodland Hills to get the football, so maybe an important drive here to start the second half. Bob Orquist, Rick McIntyre, Adam Gusky is on assignment, the executive producer and the normal play-by-play voice, the regular play-by voice here of the Woodland Hills Football Network. Former teammates and classmates with my partner tonight, Rick McIntyre.
Well, he was a sophomore. I don't know if I'd call him a teammate at that point. But I wanted to mention, by the way, I think you've now broken the record for the most times my name's ever been actually spoken at this stadium.
There are the top 10. West Allegheny and the Allegheny 9 is number 1. Gateway, Franklin Regional, McKeesport, and Penn-Trafford, all from the Big East Conference, are 2 through 5. Upper St. Clair, 6. Fox Chapel, with a victory over Woodland Hills last week, jumped ahead. Armstrong had a big game tonight against Gateway, and then North Hills from the Allegheny 9 is 10 as far as the 5A top 10 goes. For Woodland Hills, there's the remaining schedule. 2 road games, then 2 more home games, and then when you looked at this schedule to begin with, you couldn't help but notice those 2 road games to end the season at West Allegheny, Upper St. Clair. Those 2 teams expected to be the 2 top teams in the Allegheny 9.
That's a tough way to wrap up a season, and but what you do tonight, I think, has a drastic effect on what ends up happening later in this season. You're either going to build on this and get better and come back in this game and stay competitive, or You have the tendency sometimes to kind of bury your head and just kind of go away. Hopefully we see a nice, good effort here at the Woodland Hills offense, Woodland Hills defense. I think the defense has actually done a pretty good job with the exception of a few, splash plays, breakaway plays. I think they've held this, again, dynamic offense to, 20 points seems like a lot, but, again, one of them was basically a 100-yard run. I look to see the defense maybe tighten it up a little bit in the second half, and I think we're due for a turnover.
Woodland Hills did get a turnover to start the game, but they couldn't get any points out of it. It actually did lead to their safety. Tarabrella to kick it off, and again, they're kicking it away from the deep end. This one's going to go out of bounds. So it'll be the first penalty of the game against Penn-Trafford with the procedure, and Woodland Hills can get the decision to make the Warriors re-kick or take the football, which they probably will do. Many teams will just take the football at the 35, and they'll set it at the near hash. Michael Whitehurst, by the way, in the first half, 4 of 14 throwing the football, 33 yards, but the big number, 3 interceptions.
I'm looking to see if maybe they picked up that play we mentioned in the first half where he ran that waggle to the right and that backside post is open. It was an unfortunate rollout for him. I think if they roll that right, I think they're going to see that backside post is open. I think we're going to see that play come into play again.
Turnovers hurt Woodland Hills in their loss to Gateway and the loss against Fox Chapel. Here comes Jaquan Smith. That's a good way to start the second half. He's over midfield, forced out of bounds at the Penn-Trafford 47 by John Gay, but that is a pickup of 18 for Jaquan Smith, the senior running back for Woodland Hills.
Again, Jaquan is an explosive running back. He when he gets to that corner, he's gone. He's so fast. He's got almost a 3-yard stride at some points. Nice job here by John Gay to not overcommit, to stay in his assignment. Gets to the outside and knocks him out of bounds.
1st and 10, Woodland Hills at the Warriors 47, high backfield. It is Jaquan Smith taking the handoff, cuts into the middle of the line, breaks a tackle, and he's out over the right edge inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. Great job of escaping the initial pressure from Cam Laffoon by Jaquan Smith.
I'll tell you, I just caught it at the end of the play here, but I'm keeping my eye on number 55, Micah Lucas here. He ends up on top of the pile on top of 2 Penn-Trafford guys. Look at him blocking 2 guys at once. I don't know if they're going to give him credit for a pancake there because the ball was by, but pretty nice effort.
Give Smith 11 on the great second effort. 1st and 10, back-to-back first downs for Jaquan Smith. He had 11 yards in the first half. He has 29 on the first 2 carries, but the Warriors are going to get caught, or the Wolverines, with a procedure call.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Looked to me like the right tackle, Bird, again. I think in the previous 2 plays, I guarantee if you're looking on film, he's a little bit early on the snap almost every
His
play.
timing from not playing for the first 3 weeks of the season, probably he's got to work on that.
Yeah, it's an aggressive mistake.
Yes.
It's a head mistake. You don't want to see it too often, but as a coach, I'd rather see the aggressive mistake than the passive. He is a big boy.
1st and 15. Taylor to the far boundary, slot to the right, Michael Coleman. Tight end to the near side, I-backs behind Michael Whitehurst. Daniel Jones not in the lineup. Quick out to the slot man, Coleman. He drops the football.
That's exactly the play that we drew up at halftime there. You clear out.
Thanks for saying
wide
we.
Receiver.
It was you with the napkin.
Well, you inspired me, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's going to be there all night long. And when they start crowding up on it, then you're going to see him hit for that streak down the right sideline.
That's just a simple drop. Nothing you can do about that, but That's a well-designed play, and Coleman should have had that catch. 2nd and 15 for the Wolverines at the Penn-Trafford 41. I-backs behind Whitehurst, same formation with the 2 wide receivers split right. Jaquan Smith swallowed up. Penetration right up the gut by Cam Elma, the senior at 5'11", 250. And that's another loss on Smith. He's dropped for a loss of 1 back to the 42. I don't want to sound like a broken record, although my friends and family will tell you I do often. Again, Woodland Hills, 6 possessions in the first half, and this possession every time they've been in the Warriors' territory.
Yeah, and every time they seem to just spurt when they start to get the momentum going. There was just a breakdown in the backside blocking.
Well, on the penalty and the drop pass. So
the drop pass was a big one.
So it's 3rd and 17. You got to try to make something happen here if you're Woodland Hills. Dinardo dots the I this time for the Wolverines. Wide receiver to each side, and Woodland Hills has to take a timeout. Too much time taken on that. We're 1 minute and 52 seconds.
Timeout. Woodland Hills.
Into
First
the
charge timeout
third
of the
quarter.
half.
It remains a 20-2 lead for the Penn-Trafford Warriors. And again, Woodland Hills possessing the football. Maybe the coaching staff, although aware of the fact that they maybe took too much time, maybe thinking that, hey, we've had the football in their territory, calm down, but let's make a play here on 3rd and long.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes as a coach, you gotta have the feel and the flavor for that game, and know what you can look out and you know these kids so well. You look at that hollow and you just feel like, all right, we need to have a reset button here. Pump the brakes a little. Let's talk. Let's see what we're going to do here. And then you get the chance to individually tell kids, all right, this is what we're running. We're going to be looking for this, this, and this. And sometimes that's all it needs. All those kids need to reinforce it and give them a little more confidence going out and being aggressive.
The other thing as a coaching staff I think is all very important, and you've been an ex-player, probably aware of this. Some kids need a pat on the back, others need a kick in the rump.
Absolutely, and that's one of the tougher things about coaching is knowing, who to go after and who to kind of, back away from a little bit.
So 3rd and 17. We've got Coleman to the near side, trips to the opposite side with Dinardo over there with Taylor, and also Marcus Taylor, Nazir Taylor. Hit as he throws, and Coleman almost got there. As back to throw was Whitehurst, and he was drilled. I want to say it was Will Mayer.
Yeah, nice job of Michael there, taking the hit. Gets a good ball off there. Gives himself the best chance he has to make a completion here.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
Okay.
Targeting. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first
down too.
Wow, the targeting on top of it.
Targeting is the new call, and it just came on to the college scene, and you see it so much, but that's the key. I didn't get to see the end of that replay to see if it was targeting, but it was untouched from the left side by Will Mayer, and he hit Whitehurst. Whitehurst was a little bit shaken up. At the end of the play, Coleman almost made a nice comeback and a move to that football.
I thought there could have been a flag downfield there too. There was a lot of hands there on that cornerback for Penn-Trafford.
Here comes the replay. He did lower the crown of his helmet.
And there's a lot of hand action going on there downfield. Nice break for Woodland Hills.
I think that's a good call by the officials. Dinard bounces off a tackle, still on his feet, trying to fight for yardage. That's a well-earned 1 yard, 3 feet for Rowdy Dinardo to keep the leg drive going to the right side.
I just keep watching this right tackle for Woodland Hills, and again, I want to see on the replay. I can't tell if he's early or if he's just somehow getting that 322-pound frame off the line that much faster than everybody. But that play almost looked like he hit his block too early, and it actually kind of disrupted the timing of the play.
Well, you're 322. Don't you need to start quicker?
I don't think he does.
Isn't that physics?
I want to just slow him down a little bit.
Second, and actually give Dinardo, we'll call it 2nd and 9. That ball at the 21, or the 25, excuse me. Just outside of the 25. Dinardo, nice cut to the right side. Keep feeding number 9. This is just a short gain of 3 yards before Caleb Lisbon is over there along with LaFoon. But Dinardo, he's got some silky smooth moves, does he not?
He doesn't. I'll tell you, all game he's fighting for every yard he's getting upfield. This is a really solid Penn-Trafford defense. You can see their linebackers, they got the eye on the ball the entire way. They're making good reads, good plays upfield. And then if they don't have it, their secondary's right on top of them.
3rd and 7, we'll call it. Give Dinardo to pick up a 2. Call it 3, make it about 6.5. Ball is actually just touching the 23 as the Wolverines move right to left. 3rd and 6. Eye backs behind Whitehurst. He's looking to the near side. Fires it out there. Has his man Coleman. He makes the catch. Trying to make a move near the 15. He spins and maybe loses a yard before he's pushed out Papaduzzi. But a first down catch nonetheless to the near side of the field from Whitehurst to Michael Coleman.
Nice play call there by Coach Bostard. Again, I think they saw the same things that we were seeing in the first half. If you clear them out, clear those the cornerbacks out, get that inside guy out in the flats, he's going to have a 5-6 yard cushion. And that gives Michael a nice chance to get that nice 3-step drop, turn, throw. And when he gets that chance, doesn't have the pressure coming, he's a very accurate quarterback.
Pickup of 7. That was a long pass. So you can throw it to the flat, but it's more of a simple pass. So you're not getting into much trouble with those patterns. And it's worked. The Wolverines are inside the red zone for the second time in this game at the Penn-Trafford 16. Whitehurst looking the other side. Fires it out there. This time a little too high and hard to Michael Coleman, but maybe a pass that he should have come down with. Sometimes you got to make the tougher catches. second time in the game we've seen some zip on a pass from Whitehurst.
Yeah, that had some velocity on it. That's one of the harder thrown balls I've seen Michael throw. You can see, excellent leg action there. Gets that left hip whipped around. I mean, that was on target. And, the rule of thumb's always hits you in the hands.
You got to come down with it.
Coleman's reaction. Come down with it.
Coleman's reaction said as much, too, on the replay.
I think he knew it.
So 2nd and 10. Jaquan Smith is the lone man in the backfield behind Whitehurst. Christopher Jones, the fullback, is actually an H-back to the right. Wide receiver either way for the Wolverines on 2nd and 10. They'll hand it off. Jaquan Smith goes right, cuts left, and tripped up. Good job to come in from the middle linebacker spot by Matt Wilkie, and then Smith is finished off by Rosso. It's going to be 3rd and long for Woodland Hills. That's a loss of 2 for Jaquan Smith.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of having that big, beefy offensive line up front. You can see there, looked like Tyrell was supposed to flow right to get to that backer, but that nose tackle just ate him up, and he couldn't get there, and it opened up the gap. The defensive line's essential job is to protect their gap, keep their linebackers from getting hit.
That's the other thing you can look at in film, because you're not getting credit for a tackle. But if you engage or take a blocker and 2 out and the backers are making the plays,
absolutely,
coaches love that.
We call that a +1.
3rd and long, 3rd and 12, opposite side, comeback route. The catch is made. I believe that's Nazir Taylor, but it's short yardage, just inside the 20 to the 19. That is a pickup of about 4 on the 2nd catch of the game for Nazir Taylor.
Again, they're going to that flat again. I'm worried they're going to maybe go to that well too often. That corner's going to jump it. I think we're looking at maybe a time to pump fake that, hit that streak downfield. Tough decision here for Timmy Bostard. I'm not sure what I call here, to be honest. And that's why I'm glad I was never the guy with my name on the field.
Because it's 20-2, trailing by 18. I think it's the right call to keep the offense out there on 4th and 8. Whitehurst has I-backs behind him, a wide receiver each way to the near side, Jaden Lucas. He throws the fade pattern. Taylor goes up. Taylor makes the catch, but he's out of bounds. That's a good play.
I love the play call. I love the play. Anytime you can set anything up and get Nazir Taylor one-on-one, I'll take that against just about any defensive back in the league.
He made the catch. He just ran out of real estate. They went to the short side of the field as the ball was snapped from the far hash.
Pretty good ball. Maybe just a hair a little bit outside. But
look at the hops on Taylor.
Really athletic move there to get up to the ball. Just didn't have enough real estate, like you said.
So Penn-Trafford takes the ball over on downs at their own 14-yard line. So 7 trips inside Penn-Trafford territory, no points for the Wolverines offense. First play is a handoff to John Gay, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Nice gang tackle there. Again, first half we looked at a lot of broken tackles, and I imagine in that locker room they were talking about everybody get to the ball, get to the ball, get to the ball. And you see it here. Everybody comes up, flying up.
It's
one guy's going to hold him. Keep holding on. I'll come clean him up.
Barlow with the hit. Lucas with the cleanup. Tandem tackle by those two. 2nd and 10 for Penn-Trafford. We'll bring twins to the near side. Gay is the sidecar in the shotgun with a wide receiver to the far boundary as well for the Warriors. Laffoon fakes the handoff, pulls it out. There's the middle route again. This time there were 3 black jerseys. Really good coverage by Jeremy Turner, and the pass was intended for Dominic Rosso, the tight end.
Nice pickup there by Dinard as well. He was kind of rolled left to pick up that third man, the slot back who was spread out a little bit. Rolled that safety coverage over. You can see him right here in the front of your screen. Reads the quarterback, jumps right now, sees that tight end coming. Makes a nice recovery to get over to that ball, and he was going to lay a nice lick if he caught that ball.
Also in on the coverage, Eric Oliver. So 3 men around the 1 white jersey. We'll take that in the defensive backfield. 3rd and 10 for Penn-Trafford. Gay is behind the quarterback, Laffoon, in the pistol. Man in motion coming to the near side. That'll set up twins to the left for the Warriors. Laffoon will roll this way. Fires the underneath route, the stop route, off the fingertip of Dimitri George. Good coverage by Woodland Hills' Jaquan Smith.
Very nice cover by Jaquan. He's getting up a little slow. He's been on the field a lot. I don't know if there's a cramp situation or he may have looked like he kind of came down, spread out, and a lot of times you get that wind knocked out of you.
That or you know, on the stop route, not only is the receiver planning, but you're backpedaling and planning, and that could very well be a cramp situation for Jaquan Smith. We'll check the replay to see if we can.
I think the way he came down maybe looked like the way he's rocking back and forth looks like he's gasping for air.
And that, when you lose your breath, he came right down
on the belly.
Yep.
I'll tell you,
I've had
a couple times where I've gotten hit in the stomach with the helmet, and I'll tell you, it feels like you're dying for about 30 seconds, which feels like an eternity until you can get that first breath really in.
Glad you tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network with Rick McIntyre and Bob Workwitz. It's a 20-2 lead for Penn-Trafford. They're
looking at the right ankle or the right knee.
They also got a hold of his left.
Yeah,
so maybe it is a cramp situation.
Yeah, that looks like Coach D'Amico's giving the old stretch there. And from experience, that stretch comes with a lecture. Did you drink enough water today? Maybe we should be working a little harder on our conditioning. As a player, you never wanted Coach D to have to come out and stretch a cramp.
That's why we have fruit in the locker room. Right? You probably get that one too, right? You hydrate. That's all you hear nowadays. And for us, it's a pleasant evening. We're just probably in the upper 60s, but for the football players, it's a little different story.
Especially, with these kids going both ways the way they are.
Absolutely.
In my day, there were very few players on my team that went both ways.
Smith had 4 carries on the last offensive possession for Woodland Hills. He's okay.
Yeah, I can't really make out what happened there.
Hitching his giddy up. I think it's a cramp all the way.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But the good thing is Woodland Hills has forced Penn-Trafford into another punt situation, third time in the game that Logan Hawkins will punt the football for the Warriors. And you're potentially looking at another possession inside of Warriors territory.
Absolutely. This is going to be pretty good field position here. Like to see another snap maybe go over the head like we saw right in about the same area last week. It was a little bit deeper for Woodland Hills, but Woodland Hills needs a really big break here.
We've got Dinard and Taylor back there, either one capable of taking it to the house.
Pretty good weapons back there.
Not a great snap, but no pressure.
Nice kick.
Good kick by Hawkins. The high spiral comes to Taylor at the 47. He's over midfield, trying to cut back to the right. Breaks the tackle, flags fly. He's probably going to come back on an illegal block against the Wolverines. Taylor was dropped at the Penn-Trafford, near the Penn-Trafford 47.
Yeah, where that flag ended up is a big crowd there. That's generally going to go, either a legal block or a holding against the return team.
And judging from where it was, it might have been on Dinard. He was the other deep man back there with Nazir Taylor. The flag is thrown right at midfield. We'll hear from Mike D. Jarosinski.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Woodland Hills.
Still the field position at their own 40, so that's not bad. But now you've moved the football. Just got to find the end zone if you're the Wolverines.
Yeah, they just seem to keep stalling out. I can't see. There it was. 30. Yeah, that's
Marcus Taylor.
Yeah, that could have been a no call. Kid was going down, and I'm not sure I like that.
Sort of put his hands out to maybe stop his momentum.
Yeah, that should have been a no call.
1st and 10, hand off to Dinard, running right. Shucked the tackler in Will Mayer in the backfield, and he's able to get forward, drop there by John Peduzzi for a gain of 1 to the 41.
Looked like 27, is that Matt Wilkie?
Yeah, the middle backer for the Warriors.
Looked like he made a nice play coming up, stepping up into his gap, and then coming down the line and took out the legs.
There you see Cam Elmont, one of the big linemen, 5'11", 250.
That is not Cameron Elma.
No, and nor is that 250. Neither of those young ladies combined probably go 250. Elma's at 250, Mayer's at 250, and Hawkins at 270. That's big across the front three. Good pass route, good stop route. The ball was right there on the timing route, pulled in by the freshman Rochelle in front of Gay at the Penn-Trafford 40, or at the Woodland Hills 47.
I like it. Now we got better third down possibility here, because now it sets up you can run, you got the play action, and you got that 3-step drop, fired out.
Put it out there,
7-8 yards.
Rochelle turned around. The timing, the ball was right there. That's perfectly done.
This is a big first down for Woodland Hills. They got to get this ball moving. They got to get some points on the board here in this third quarter.
Dinard is the tailback, dotting the I behind Christopher Jones. Under center, Michael Whitehurst on 3rd and 3. It's Dinard right, cuts left. hits his own blocker, shakes a man with a great little stutter step to get away from Caleb Lisbon. He's in the Penn-Trafford territory for the first down. Nice job by Rowdy Dinardo.
I'll tell you what, watching that play, I was down there a couple weeks ago for practice and was hanging out with the running backs over by where the sticks are. And Melvin Cobb's running backs coach sets up a drill where they chop their feet
good
going
back
right.
in the day, wasn't
he was not bad. But you chop your feet going right, make a cut, and look at him. Everything, shoulders are square, heads upfield, make the cut, knees moving. Exactly what that drill that they did set up.
He gave Lisbon knees and shoulders to make that juke. And again, into Warrior territory. 3-step drop, stop route, a little too high, though, through the hands of Jaden Lucas, but it's there.
There's a late flag error. I didn't see anything.
If the flag is on the far side of the field, I was going to see if it was in the backfield.
The side judge threw it. He looked like he could play some offensive line.
Here's the call for Mike Jarosinski.
Illegal man downfield.
Turn the mic on. Ineligible man downfield is the call. That'll cost the Wolverines 5. Where?
It had to have been the way they were lined up. Maybe the wide receiver must have had the tight end covered. If that wide receiver, the flanker's not off the line of scrimmage.
Right. Isn't that illegal formation or procedure?
No, you can do it as long as the tight end doesn't go downfield.
Fade pattern, far side, and it's broken up. Coleman got open, but coming over at the last second to get the pass defense, Dimitri George for the Warriors.
Was that George or was that number 9?
That was 8, Dimitri George.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My eyesight's starting to fail me a little bit here late in the evening. Had a rough day welding. These lights are not my friend right now. Boy, what a play. Looks like Clemente going after that basket catch over the shoulder.
He kind of was off balance, but he knew where he was going. He made that pass defense with his back to the line of scrimmage. So well done by Dimitri George. Or Coleman makes that catch inside the 30. 2nd and 15 now for Woodland Hills at their own 47. Handoff. Great burst of speed, but Meredith stripped up underneath Logan Hawkins. The Akron recruit stops Meredith for a gain of 2.
Yeah, Hawkins, he's a big boy, and he is tough to root out of that middle. He does a nice job here. He engages, but he has control of the offensive lineman the whole way. Sees the ball, shucks the block with the right arm, gets there, and it gets just enough to knock him down.
Coach Rowan said he's very explosive and can really move laterally. Saw it on that play.
Absolutely. He's pretty athletic. And, I think when he gets to that next level, they're gonna muscle him up a little bit and get him on some, the training table, and he's gonna do very well at the next level.
He'll be 290, 300 easily.
Yeah.
In a couple of years.
Absolutely.
3rd and 13. And Tim Bossert as it takes a timeout because Woodland Hills took too much time. We'll take a break. 3:23 to go, 3rd quarter. Penn-Trafford 20 and Woodland Hills 2. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Well, back after the break, depending on where at on Route 130 you are. If you're a Penn-Trafford fan, you're sad that you missed it because it was a sack of Michael Whitehurst, brought down for a loss of 6, forcing a punt situation for Woodland Hills.
And again, the result of having that 3rd and long, instead of that 3-step drop, he's got to take the 5 to 7 step, and that defensive line just overpowers.
Punt by Whitehurst. This is a short one, but it's off the shoulder pads of Lisbon. He did a good job to go back, not panic, as Marcus Taylor was down on him in a hurry. He just went back and slid and made sure to secure the ball, which he did at his own 30-yard line.
Number 12's having a pretty good day kicking the ball anyway.
He is. He has.
He's had some pretty nice kicks.
That was the shortest one of all his good kicks. He had that great coffin corner in the first half.
I'd like to see it maybe a little less frequently.
That's a great point.
Yeah, given the opportunity, he's
more with the arm and less with the leg.
Absolutely.
Right? Whitehurst puts Penn-Trafford at their own 30. Penn-Trafford with touchdowns on the ground. Caleb Lisbon, of 94 yards, and Cam Laffoon of 11 yards. Laffoon also hit Anthony Servone on a 28-yard touchdown pass with 3.9 seconds left in the first half. John Gay tries to come to the near side, gets away from the first tackler. That was Joshua Rawlings, but then Jeremy Turner made the stop. Rawlings looks like he took maybe a helmet into the back. Gay's dropped right at the line of
made a nice play off the ball. You can see him on the left side. Gets inside leverage, pushes outside, just misses a tackle, and you see him, he just gets kind of rolled on.
I think he took a knee maybe to the back, too.
Yeah.
I think it was his own teammate, Michael Roman.
So he did a good job there, turning the ball inside
right.
and keeping that to, just keeping it to the line of scrimmage.
And coming up to finish the deal was Turner, the 6-foot junior linebacker. Hand off to Gay, coming to the near side. Big head of steam, and he has room. Cuts it up the near sideline. He could go 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. Dinardo tried to force him out, but it's a touchdown run of 70 yards for John Gay, like he was shot out of a cannon to the near sideline, and the Warriors lead 26-2.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if he was ever even touched here. Nice blocking scheme here. Gets everybody pinned inside, and he's just off to the races. And Dinardo had the best chance. You see him there; he almost had the angle, but man, Gay has got some. He's got some pretty quick feet. He's got some speed breaking out in the open there. If you're out running number 9, you're moving pretty good.
Gay goes 70 for 6, and for John Gay another touchdown rushing.
That's 160 yards rushing in 2 plays.
2 plays. You're absolutely right. And 12-13. They're trying to make it 14 points off of those 2. We get a Penn-Trafford timeout, or we get a penalty? We got a cramp with Dominic Rosso. That's what it is. Another injury timeout. So Lisbon with a 94-yard touchdown, as Rick alluded to, and here's the replay on the John Gay 70-yard touchdown run.
Really nice job of their tight end there, keeping Joshua Rawlings tied up. Rawlings has been having a pretty good game already. He might have been a little banged up from the play before. Maybe gave PT the advantage on that right edge. Boy, that kid can run.
I thought the same thing, because I looked and saw it was number 9 chasing him from the middle of the field. And I thought, well, he's going to force him out inside the 5.
Yeah, right around the 40, man. He just hit like that 5th gear and took off.
Gay did a good job to not look back. He just kept his head focused on the end zone at the other end of the field. For John Ruane, the 8th-year head coach for the Penn-Trafford Warriors, former defensive coordinator at Gateway High School. Tarabrella trying to make it a 27-2 lead. That kick is up. That kick is good. 1:45 to go, 3rd quarter. Penn-Trafford leading Woodland Hills 27-2. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network, and the MSA Sports Network coverage is presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
At the Wolverina, Woodland Hills now trailing by 25. They scored the first 2 points of the game. Penn-Trafford has scored the next 27 with 4 touchdowns and a missed extra point by Nick Tarabrella. 2 big plays. And then if you throw in the 28-yarder with seconds remaining for halftime, another big play as well.
Absolutely.
That's kind of one of a more of a crushing variety.
Yeah, I still think this Woodland Hills defense is doing play-by-play, doing a decent job holding the line of scrimmage. It's just those couple splash plays that they're letting get through, getting beat on the corner. One guy, outsmarts somebody on a block, and it's off to the races. Because if you're not hitting 46 in the backfield, he's got a chance to go house every time.
Trying to see if they moved one of the return men up.
No.
Short kick. No, it wasn't Smith. Smith gets it back at his own 9, goes to the far side. 15, 20, 25, 30. Breaks the tackle. 35, 40. 45, dragged down at midfield by Cole DiFilippo. But a great return of 41 yards for Jaquan Smith. And again, Woodland Hills with tremendous field position.
Yeah, we got to start hitting pay dirt from this field position here, and we're getting short on time, folks. We're down to 1:35 in the third quarter. Got to have a nice drive here. Got to get some points on the board here for Woodland Hills. Really nice return here, and he is just one hit away from breaking this.
He broke some tackles, and
yep. If
he was faced.
What is that? Is it?
Terrabrella was there, but that was a good tackle by DiFilippo from the.
Yeah, if DiFilippo's not there on the, he's breaking that outside, and he's going to the house.
First and 10 at midfield. Whitehurst in the shotgun. Man comes in motion. They'll hand it off. Jet sweep near side. Dinard turns it up. Tries to make a move. And hanging and nipping at his ankles to make partially the tackle, Matt Wilkie. Also on the tackle, Mitch Nedley. Dinard picks up 4 to the 46.
Yeah, it was just a little bit slow in developing. They had the edge and then just couldn't hold the blocks. And again, those linebackers are just not getting touched. The defensive line for Penn-Trafford's not making a tremendous amount of tackles, but they're keeping their linebackers free and clear to come up and make the plays.
And Coach Wayne talked about that. They are sort of the straw that stirs the drink for Penn-Trafford. Said that they bring the heat. That was his quote. We've seen it. They made a good call with those interior linemen taking off. 2nd and 6, Whitehurst to the far side. Dinard has it go off his fingertips at the 45. That was just a little out route on the far side of the field, and Dinard was in front of Peduzzi, but the pass went off his fingertips.
I think that's about maybe 4 or 5 drops that we've seen tonight that not easy catches. I mean, anytime he's running full speed, he's got to turn over the right shoulder and make this catch. It's not an easy catch to make. And he maybe led him a little bit, but that hit him in the hands. He's going to not like seeing that one on film.
7 of 24 throwing the football for Michael Whitehurst. He's going to need some ice on that left arm. Good thing he's a baseball player. He's used to that, 4-year baseball player here at Woodland Hills. He was honored before the game in the rivalry series. He and Cam LaFoon. Good pass, good catch, but just short of the sticks. That's Rochelle. He's a good-looking freshman.
Yeah, I'm impressed with anybody that can play, even be dressed as a freshman, for the Woodland Hills program. This might be the best ball Michael's thrown all day. He's perfect form there. Again, gets that left hip whipped around. Medee Williams is a former player here. He's a quarterback coach. I got to send that clip to him to see what he thinks. But I think that was textbook. Great spiral, good velocity, right on target.
Brings up a 4th and 1, 5-yard pickup. Woodland Hills trying to get the final play of the third quarter off here. Whitehurst is under center. It's down to 4 seconds. He may just let it tick off. He's not looking like he's going to snap it, and they will not. Penn-Trafford, the only score of quarter number 3, a touchdown run of 70 yards by John Gay. After 3, Penn-Trafford 27 and Woodland Hills 2. We'll take a break. You're listening on the MSA Sports Network. You're also tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Welcome back to the Wolverina, George A. Novak Field. Several weeks ago, Rick, you were up close and personal to the pregame ceremonies. Who would have thought that we're heading into Game 3 with 12 minutes remaining and 1 quarter to go, and you're staring at no wins on the field named after the great George Novak?
Yeah, I think we talked about it before the game, and I can't think of a time where they've lost 3 in a row, let alone gone 0-3 to start a season at home.
Well, they need a big fourth quarter.
Right. They need an enormous fourth quarter.
4th and 1. Handoff, running to the right, Jaquan Smith. First down. He shrugged off a tackler in the backfield. That pile still moving. Gets all the way, still going, inside the 35 to the 33, maybe the 32. And that's a great way to push the pile. He needed 1. He picked up 9.
And he gets hit right basically at the line of scrimmage here.
It's sort of a shirt tackle he pulled out of. Right there.
Right there. Pulls out of that and then just churn.
And there comes the lineman helping.
Yeah, that was always fun. Come up and just clean somebody's clock and push the pile.
That's Tyrell Barlow. He's been active on both sides of the football tonight.
Yeah, we've heard his name a lot.
So that's a 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Their 6th first down of the second half. Ball at the 33 of Penn-Trafford. They'll hand it off. Smith cuts left, cuts back up the middle. He's inside the 25, inside the 20. Dragged down from behind near the 12. And that's a pickup of 19 for Jaquan Smith and consecutive first downs for the Wolverines.
Beautifully executed play here. Backside's pulling, front side's kind of got that zone block going. And all that does is it sets up those cutback lanes. As you see it right there, it makes a nice read. Good hard cut, keeps everything going upfield. Nice pickup.
Gay and George bring Smith down, but not before he galloped for 19 yards. 1st and 10, Woodland Hills at the Penn-Trafford 12. 1 man in the backfield, Jaquan Smith. They'll hand it off. Looks left, hesitates, breaks the tackle. Inside the 10, angling at the 5. Flag goes down. He goes into the end zone, but it might come back as the flag is dropped at the 9-yard line.
Not a good spot for that flag for Woodland Hills.
Holding. Offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
11 carries, 57 yards now after.
Saw the big tackle, 75 there with his hands on his head after the play. It doesn't look like he held him.
That was Hilliard. Yeah, it was right there. You would have to think it was the tight end Rawlings downfield with that block.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. A couple phantom calls.
You were an interior lineman, weren't you?
I was an outside lineman. I was a tight end, but we didn't throw the ball, so I was the outside tackle.
What was your number?
99.
99 is eligible.
I took the number because the player before that had it was Jason Taylor.
Lob near side. Fade. Taylor is incomplete. Nazir Taylor got behind George. Not sure if George got back there to knock it away, but again, we like that call, getting Taylor isolated on a cornerback. The first time he caught it out of bounds. This time he just couldn't come up with it.
I like it, and I think this play's set up by what we've seen earlier in the half with hitting those short passes, hitting those quick outs. Brings that cornerback up a little bit for press coverage, and then the one-on-one.
I think he did get his hand in there, George did. What I like about it, other than different than the first one, the first fade, Rick, they threw to the short side. This to the far side.
A little more room for him to get the ball in there. It was a pretty good ball by Michael.
Indeed it was.
Just really good coverage.
2nd and 17. Woodland Hills is back at the Penn-Trafford 19. Jaquan Smith cuts into the middle line of scrimmage. Breaks the tackle. He's down the far sideline. He is going to go into the end zone.
Late flag.
And a late flag again will negate the second time in this series a Jaquan Smith touchdown run, unless this is a defensive penalty. This flag is dropped at the 3-yard line. We'll get the call from Mike Jarosinski.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
Another
ill-timed penalty, another holding call.
Flag was pretty close to the end zone here. I'm curious to see what we're looking at here, holding-wise. I didn't see it.
Timeout.
Looked like it was on Joshua Rawlings there, but look, maybe not the best view from the tight camera shot there. I didn't see a hold.
Jaquan is probably going to go to his teammates. Come on.
Yeah, I got 2 touchdowns. And no points.
Yeah. And same for the Wolverines. They have yet to put up an offensive point in this game. They scored the game's first 2 points on a safety when Cam Laffoon was tackled in the end zone. Teron Best and Tyrell Barlow combined on that safety. But then Cam Lisbon, a 94-yard run. Cam Laffoon, an 11-yard run. And then Laffoon, a touchdown pass to Anthony Cervone, and then John Gay, a big 70-yard touchdown run in the third quarter. The Warriors have a 27-2 lead.
A lot of big numbers there, Bob. I'm impressed every week with Jaquan Smith and his ability to break that early tackle. We saw that interception down here. The guy almost ripped his jersey off. Looks like he's about to go down, and next thing you know, he's breaking it. Let's see if we can give him a third one.
I think he deserves it.
He sure does. Nice move.
Near side, Huertas rolling out, sets, firing at the back line. Nazir Taylor, and it's off his fingertips. He was open, and that's a great play by Michael Whitehurst. Really should have been a touchdown pass.
That was not an easy, athletic move there to be rolling out again, rolling opposite of what. Well, no, he's rolling right there. He's got the left arm looking
Watch
good.
Watch this stop though. Beautiful job to set the
pretty good ball.
Real good
ball. And he threw it where he had to throw it. He had to throw it up to keep it away from that D-back. And again, it's a couple questionable drops here. That one was a really tough ball to come down with, but when you're down 27-2, there's just no excuses. You got to get that.
Fourth down, they hand it off. Jaquan Smith's going to get in. He puts his shoulder down and pulls into the end zone. Let's make sure.
Yeah, wait. I think they just called holding.
No flags, and Jaquan Smith is into the end zone with a 13-yard touchdown run. The first two were called back. This one counts, and the Wolverines are on the board, courtesy of the Smith 13-yard run.
Nice resilience here by this offense to stay focused. When you get a touchdown called back, it's a little deflating. When you get a second one called back, that just doesn't happen all that often. For them to come back, stay focused, make a nice hole there and hold the blocks. Jaquan with a nice run off that left end. Again, I'm more and more impressed with him every week that I watch him.
We talked about looking ahead, and this is kind of a momentum thing to look ahead. Still 10:21 to go in this game, so Woodland Hills offense out. They're going for two. Whitehurst, three-step drop, looking near side. There's a whole bunch of jerseys. 4 or 5 white jerseys, 2 black jerseys. The point try for 2 fails, broken up by John Peduzzi.
Yeah, not much going there. I think we're seeing the touchdown replay here. Nice break. Boy, he's got some stride.
For Jaquan Smith, his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Yeah, big time. You've got 2 nice running backs with Dinard and Jaquan Smith for Woodland Hills.
It's kind of perplexing with it, and then you add Nazir Taylor into the mix at the wide receiver, and it's a little bit perplexing here why we're struggling so much on this home field. I can't tell if Big George is up there in the stands where he usually sits, but he's got to be just kind of itching for this first game to get out of the way before people start, throwing that C word out there.
I think even though he's 8 for 27 with 3 interceptions, I think Michael Whitehurst has looked fairly comfortable. He's been at least 4 drops in there. One of the interceptions was not his fault.
Yeah, it was a tip ball. The first interception is probably the one that's going to hurt him the most, looking back. It was, again, a poor decision. That play down there for the 2-point conversion, there was nothing there. But that's the play where you can, if you're a smart quarterback, you can take the risk.
Sure.
Because even if they do run it back, it's only a 2-point play, and the odds of them actually getting it that far are pretty slim. So that's the play where you try to force it in. There was just nothing going.
13 carries, 86 yards for Jaquan Smith to pace the Wolverines' rushing attack. Let's see if they bring out Chucky Hanchik and think onside kick. The Warriors are thinking so. The hands team is out there.
Looks like there's some small fellas out there for the Warriors.
A lot of low numbers. The highest number in the front line is 27.
That's a good observation. That's a hands crew.
Hanchik could just dunk it over top of them, which he does to the far side. Will it stay in bounds? That's the tee, and it did. And the Warriors got back there on it. Great hustle to come back and cover that up by Caleb Lisbon.
I mean, that's almost the exact kick that you want there. When they bring the hands team out, if you're thinking, going for that onside kick, they bring them up, and you got that nice big gap there. The little chip shot, and that ball kind of almost like a Like a nice Pro V
No,
with a sand
I'm going to
wedge.
ask you, could you stop your wedge like that?
My wedge, yes. A football, absolutely no.
Hanchett certainly did.
Actually, when I want my wedge to stop,
It doesn't?
it tends to take off.
You know,
When it's a front pin, I will suck that
if
thing
we're
right off.
trapped in the desert and we need water, just let me tee it up because I'll find it. 1st and 10 at the 25 for Penn-Trafford, leading 27-8. Shotgun pistol for LaFoon. Low snap, and it goes through LaFoon, and then Gay, and LaFoon picks it up, and it's going to be dropped at the 20-yard line for a loss of 5.
Good job there by LaFoon getting back to the ball and maintaining possession. That could have been pretty ugly very quickly.
Maybe one of the few of only mistakes we've seen Bubba make tonight. Logan Hawkins with a low snap.
Yeah, it just kind of, I don't know if they got caught up in the turf. Yeah, it was definitely a bad snap. But again, like you said, Bubba's been having a good game.
Oliver in to make the stop for the loss of 5. 2nd and 15 for the Warriors. Same formation. They have twins to the right. Tight end near side, the run near side. Good cut back by Gay. He's got room. He gallops. He makes a move. 35-40, 45-50, 45-40. Down the far sideline. The Wolverines have an angle. He cuts it back to the inside. 80 yards for John Gay. Another tremendous and long touchdown run for the Penn-Trafford Warriors.
Wow, we spent a lot of time tonight talking about the speed and the athleticism of this Woodland Hills backfield, but, man, this kid's really impressing me. Great job offensive line. He doesn't get touched until he gets to that second level.
Watch this cutback because it was the same type of play. There were 2 Wolverines.
You saw him there right about the 10.
They zeroed in on him.
He made a peek over about 10 yards before
Dinardo
that.
And Smith.
Sees the angle. That's Division 1A type quality running there.
We're going to take a break after this extra point by Terabella, this try. I'll have a story for you fans at home. The extra point is good by Nick Terabella. Penn-Trafford 34, Woodland Hills 8. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and surrounding areas for over 111 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home is pleased to announce the opening of their new crematory at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that our crematory is used exclusively for the families we serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Welcome back to the Wolverine with Rick McIntyre, Bob Orquist on the MSA Sports Network.
And it's Bobby O story time.
The funny thing is the fans at home don't see this, but everyone in the press box did. This is the rivalry game, and I got this to show you because as Gay was going into the end zone, Rick and I get the vote for the rivalry game of the week, player of the game, and Rick went like this.
Yeah, I mean, actually,
indicating,
after his last run, I almost had it in my hand.
So
as well.
there will be no hanging chads with your ballot. You're voting for John Gay.
And this ain't Florida.
So John Gay has 166 yards on just 7 carries. Lisbon has 125 on 6. That's 13 carries and almost 300 yards.
This defense is going to have a brutal day tomorrow rewatching this game.
Ball is kicked away, and again out of bounds it goes. That'll be a procedure call, and Woodland Hills will take over at their own 35.
As I say that, obviously they're going to have some issues to look at on film. One of the best quotes I remember from Coach Novak was, when you look at the film after a game, you never looked as good and you never look as bad as you thought you looked when you finally look at the film.
Let's see, if you take away the 2 Gay runs of 70 and 80 yards, and then the Lisbon 94, in between those, the defense has been pretty good.
Well, you take away Pennsylvania and Ohio and Hillary won. You know what I mean? But,
That's a good call. And you're going to give Penn-Trafford credit. They've given up a touchdown, the defense has, for the first time all year, but their first team defense, that's the first score they've allowed, and they have not given up any points in the first half. The handoff into the line of scrimmage, a gain of 1 for Jaquan Smith.
Woodland Hills cheerleaders keeping the spirit going. It's tough to do when you're down 34-8 late in the game. All right, let's see. We need to see some offense here we can build on for next week.
Now, yeah, with that other touchdown negating the Woodland Hills touchdown, you want to build on into the future. Whitehurst the throw, 3-step drop, out route, far side, caught by Jaden Lucas, turns the corner, gets around Nico Santamoro, and he picks up a first down for Woodland Hills out to the 48-yard line. That's a pickup of 12.
I'm liking the progression of number 12 throughout this game. It came out maybe a little bit shaky. You could just see in the way he's coming into the huddle, the way he's standing, the way he's carrying the ball. He's getting a little more confidence with every throw. And he's really starting to put some zip on that ball. Nice catch there, nice route.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. He's looked comfortable. That was a good pass. And again, that's just a quick dig route, a stop route, if you will, on the far side. And he put the ball right on the money. Fakes the handoff coming to the near side on the roll. Stops, sets, fires off the hands. And then a second effort by the tight end, Joshua Rawlings. Incomplete on the coverage for Penn-Trafford, Jake Prady.
Yeah, again, that's look like the old waggle. It's a play action, roll out right. And the tight end's generally the primary receiver on that play.
Sometimes on the waggle, though, they'll come from across the field. That time he was on the same side of the field, although Whitehurst ruled to the near side. But, yeah your drag route, you drag the tight end on the waggle usually. That's pretty you have to out-throw it because Rawlings is 6'5". So to go off his fingertips.
You got to put it up there.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion, 8:27 to go, fourth quarter. Woodland Hills near midfield. It's been one of those stories of the game. 3-step drop, fade pattern, far side, knockdown. Almost intercepted by Santamoro. The pass was intended for Nazir Taylor.
Yeah, Nazir looked like he kind of turned into defensive back there. He didn't have much of a chance to get to that ball and catch it. But he
was on the outside of the pattern towards the boundary, and the ball was on the inside near to Santamoro.
Looked like a little off the back foot there for Whitehurst. And when you do that, you don't get the zip on you. You think it comes out a little high. He needed to get that out to the outside shoulder. Just didn't get it there.
So 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Whitehurst will go under center. Jaquan Smith, the lone man in the backfield, wide receiver to each side. Taylor near and Michael Coleman far. Handoff. Smith cuts. That's actually Meredith, and he gets close to a first down. He's going to be about a yard short. Good tackle at the end of that play by Cam LaFoon.
Nice play call there. They've been throwing it deep the last couple plays. Looking at hitting the pass. They kind of got the secondary to back up a little bit. Opens up a little bit of space once you get through that first line.
Call that reverse play action?
In a way.
Action,
Instead of sucking them in, you draw them back out.
Action play.
It looked like they caught Penn-Trafford maybe on stun on the near side here, and it broke it up the other way.
A good job by Meredith to just square the shoulders, go straight up. 4th and short now. Handoff. It is the fullback. And I don't think the fullback, Marcus Taylor, got it. Swallowed up by Logan Hawkins. And that's no gain. And they'll turn it over on downs.
Yeah, Penn-Trafford sniffed that out from the beginning. Those big hogs in the middle got low. And
Hawkins just got inside on Alexander to center, made the play.
Yeah. As big and wide as that kid is with that base, when he comes out low and as quick as he is off the ball, that's a tough kid to move out of your way.
Plays like that get you into Division I.
Absolutely.
That's why Logan Hawkins is headed to Akron.
Yeah, I mean, the score's one thing, but when it's 4th down and short and you come up with that kind of a play and you shed your man, you fire off the ball like that, that's some good film.
So 1st and 10, and then again another possession inside Warriors territory for the Wolverines. Comes up empty. Handoff, Lisbon, jucking, shooking, jiving. He's into Woodland Hills territory. Dinard kind of grabs him on the waist, but he gets all the way to the Woodland Hills 45-yard line. That is a pickup of 15 for Caleb Lisbon.
Sidney Summers gets a little frustration out here, gets a nice pop on him at the end of the play. You can see he gets up, he's mad. It's just too much yardage to give up. They want to get this ball back into the Woodland Hills offense, try to get some points on this board. You don't want to see 41-8 in the paper tomorrow.
1st and 10 for the Warriors, and Cam LaFoon just taking time now with a 34-8 lead. You'll take that play clock. There isn't any. You look to the back judge, puts the hand up. Lisbon to the near side, stiff arm, and He is tackled. We get a flag flying. Jaquan Smith and Jaden Lucas on the tackle, but this one looks like it's going to come back.
Holding offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Have I forgotten one, or is that the first penalty against Penn-Trafford today?
Second, they had a 15-yarder. And no, actually, yeah.
No, the roughing the quarterback.
Roughing the quarterback.
Yep,
the other two were the procedure calls on the kicks.
That's right.
Out of bounds. But yeah, the roughing the quarterback was their only flag. Wide receiver either way to the far side. Dimitri George Santamora to the near boundary for the Warriors. He goes in motion. Lone man in the backfield in the pistol behind LaFoon is Lisbon. Lisbon runs right, trying to get the edge. Still trying to get the edge. Turns it up. He'll get two. Good job to string that out by Woodland Hills. And then Coleman, along with Dinard and Michael Roman, make the tackle.
Coleman does a nice job there reading it, come up and lays a pretty good hit on him for the tackle.
Lisbon, a pretty good-looking sophomore. That's a name to look out for.
Absolutely.
For the Penn-Trafford Warriors. Barlow almost got him in the backfield. Look, 4 jerseys, 5 jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way you string out and then run. It's only a yard gain for Lisbon. They spot him at the 46-yard line. Penn-Trafford dance team disinterested in this 34-8 game.
A little audible at the line there, maybe.
LaFoon again making it under 5. Quick out near side, Dimitri George. Wrapped up. Good job by Roman to come over and get on him in a hurry. That's just a pickup of 3.
That's a nice tackle by Roman. Saw the play. He was almost out of position there. Regains it and turns outside and turns the speed on and gets to him.
Yep, he was on the logo.
Yeah,
he came all the way to the near side.
He covered a lot of ground to get out there and keep that to a minimum gain.
So it's 3rd and 16. Penn-Trafford at their own 49. They lead 34-8. The clock's going to wind under 5 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Lisbon behind LaFoon. Well, there was a pun that came to my mind there, but
keep your puns to yourself, sir.
Under 5 seconds, they'll hand it off to Lisbon. He cuts it right into the arms of Tyrell Barlow. Lisbon will get 5, but on 3rd and long, it's going to be short of the first down. With Lisbon and LaFoon, I was thinking that's one hell of a backfield. Should I have kept that to myself? The ball was fumbled at the end. Rawlings, that's the second fumble of the game for Lisbon.
I thought I heard that kind of the
grumbling
from the field there.
And Rawlings made the recovery. Barlow made the hit.
Boy, Barlow's
second turnover of the game.
Been hearing 54 called a lot this evening.
Yeah, the senior at 6 foot, 252. So Woodland Hills gets the ball back at their own 46. So another fumble for Cam Lisbon.
And again, we're really good field position. Looks like another offensive series that's going to at least encroach the enemy territory.
I think if you're winding down there with 4:38, if you're the Wolverines, you want to put a crisp scoring drive together and head into next week against Star Valley. You're also looking to get Jaquan Smith over 100 yards. He picks up 4 to midfield.
Late flag there. Looked like something maybe right after the play. Helmet came off. And again, something else I'm looking for on both sides of the ball is when the game's a little bit kind of out of hand like this, you want to protect your starters. You want to protect these kids. You don't want to see one of your star athletes getting hurt.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Oh, that's a face mask.
That's why the helmet will come off, right?
Yeah, good thing it did. That could have really hurt.
Wilkie, WWE
Oh, look,
style.
It's going back on. It's going back on. Well, I bet you it comes back off.
Raking the
look,
eyes.
I
bet you're right.
There it goes.
Wilkie quickly dumped it out of his hand, like maybe they'll not notice.
Yeah. Like my mom saw that face mask from up on George Street.
Gives Woodland Hills a first down at the Penn-Trafford 34. Jaquan Smith, 15 carries, 91 yards unofficially. He'll get another carry. Cut back and then stays up the middle.
He's still on his feet.
Yeah, he was on top of Wilkie, the tackler. Brady had to come in, but that's good recognition by Smith to get back up and keep moving inside the 30 to the 27 for a pickup of 7.
That's exactly what you call it, is excellent recognition. Good football sense there.
Yep.
You know your knee didn't touch the ground. The ball didn't touch the ground. You get up, you keep them feet moving.
Yeah, there's Wilkie. Yeah,
wow.
He kept his hand on the field.
I think from another angle, I think his knee was close, but excellent effort nonetheless. Ref didn't see it, didn't happen.
2nd and 3 inside the 30. Hand off. Meredith. Anthony Meredith will try to cut it back, and he's dropped at the 25 after a pickup of 2.
Straightforward blocking, power play there. Not much churning. Close to the first down, just not quite enough.
3rd down and 1. I need the 24.
All right, now, we tried this before in 4th and 1 to run up the middle at Bubba.
It didn't work.
I would avoid Bubba right now. Bubba looks hungry.
Bubba likes wings, too, from what I understand.
Who doesn't?
It's a good point. Cut back. It's a big
nice
one. Meredith inside the 20. Dragged down at the 15. They needed 1. He picked up 10 and a first down for the Wolverines.
Well, I'm not sure if that's a play, a call from the line, from the huddle, the cutback, but watch what the left side of the line does to Bubba. They get him moving right, and then you get the crackback block coming down at him. Double-teamed him, turned him in, frees that hole open to right. But the whole line looked like it moved right, and then the ball goes left.
I want to say it was
interesting.
Bird. Anyway, they pushed another lineman into Hawkins, sealing him off and opening that hole. This time a handoff, and it's swallowed up. Good read by John Baker. Stops Jaquan Smith in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 2, I think.
Ooh, almost rolled that ankle on him.
Bakar. Wilkie also in there. He's been active, including ripping the helmet off of Jaquan Smith earlier in this series. We're under 2 to go, so you're the Wolverines. You're just looking to get a late score. White's 3-step drop, fires it out. Just a little off the mark, intended for Nazir Taylor.
That was a little off the mark, but Nazir lost his footing coming off that break. You can see here, it looked like maybe his left foot just slipped as he came into the turn, and he just didn't quite get to where he needed to be. But that ball was a hair high.
I like the fact that when Whitehurst takes a quick 3-step drop and sets, he throws it well.
And
I like these stop routes, too, that the receivers are running. Now you just got to work on narrowing it in and honing it in.
In high school football, that quick out route is almost always there if you have a quarterback that can confidently drop back and fire it.
Handoff, and Jaquan Smith lowers his shoulder, knocks a defender down as he gets inside the 15. Drop him down at the 13. That's a 4-yard pickup.
Timeout, injury.
I tell you, I get nervous every time these players run into this tight corner down here by the end zone. Couldn't tell. Okay, he didn't hit the wall, so that's fortunate.
That's John Gay who got injured. I don't know if he's got a cramp. Maybe he knew that I filled the ballot out with his name on it.
That is a cramp, and that is definitely. I would prefer her stretching my cramp over Denny D'Amico any day. She's probably not going to yell at him.
You can get no argument from me. I filled out my ballot, by the way. We have John Gay as the rivalry player of the week. And after this one, Rick and I will bring you the Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game, and also the State Senator Jay Costa player of the game for Woodland Hills. Jaquan Smith, by the way, unofficially 18 carries, 100 yards.
All right, good to see him up. He ran about a mile and a half today.
He certainly did.
So
next week here on the network, Rick and I will be at Chartiers Valley in Bridgeville. Woodland Hills back into the Allegheny 9 Conference as they take on the Chartiers Valley Colts. Chartiers Valley, by the way, tonight was hosting West Allegheny, the number 1 team in the 5A classification.
I'll tell you, we're looking at the rankings and the teams earlier. That Fox Chapel team last week really impressed me with how they came off the ball and how they executed. There it is again. I think you're going to maybe see some moves from Fox Chapel this year.
Last year the Foxes, they finished with a 5-game winning streak, and they lost to North Hills that kept them out of the playoffs. Tonight they play North Hills. So they're thinking
grudge match.
Last year, yep.
Oh, yeah.
We were in the playoffs and we didn't beat them. So we'll see how that plays out in the conference. With a minute 43 to go. 4th down play. Throwing to the near side. Oh, Taylor went up, couldn't get there. Pretty good coverage. It's been Dimitri George, and Nazir Taylor locked up a lot tonight.
Yeah, George has done a really good job just mirroring him and staying on him. It's pretty good defense here. Again, no reading, just he knows who he's going to. They're doing a really good job of isolating Nazir and getting him that one-on-one coverage, which is what you want. Unfortunately, the coverage has been pretty tight.
You might not see that, and you work on that in practice, and that's a matchup you want.
I said it earlier.
Absolutely.
You give me Nazir Taylor against just about anybody, I'm going to throw it.
Getting a credit to Dimitri George. He's a first-year starter, too, in the defensive backfield.
Wow, that's impressive.
Done a good job on Nazir Taylor, one of the big playmen for Woodland Hills. Looks like Penn-Trafford is going into the victory formation. We're down to 66 degrees.
Looks like maybe a delay of game flag on the field.
Illegal substitution.
Wow.
Yeah, you know that. I saw look down when he said that. Santamora was trying to sneak off on the near sideline. Didn't work, by the way. But when it's 34-8 and you're got the 34 like Penn-Trafford, a lot easier to take that penalty.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be doing any running for that.
So they'll take a knee with LaFoon, who ran for a touchdown and threw for a touchdown. .131 yards and a touchdown for Cam LaFoon. He's going to end up, well, here's a 29 yards, 23. He's probably going to get out about 22 or 21 yards, depending on the kneel downs, if he has to kneel down one more time. But he had a big play in this game, the 28-yard pass late in the second quarter. It was 13-2 if Woodland Hills can make the stop.
That late touchdown was kind of one of the nails in the coffin, and it was a big one. That's kind of a deflating thing to go into halftime and have to deal with. Because you go in halftime and you're down 13-2 with the big plays you've given up. You know, it's a little more palatable.
They kneel on it once again. This is the favorite formation for any coach.
Oh, when I played college ball, it was CBT. And we had different sets. You know, we ran a West Coast offense, and it was always, when you heard CBT, you knew the game was celebration.
My favorite description of that, the late, great Jay Kappa from Riverview, called it the Catholic play. We take a knee. 17 seconds, they snap it, LaFoon kneels on it, and the Warriors improved to 4-0 on the season. They do give up points as a defense, the first team defense, for the first time all year, but they'll take the victory. Pretty impressive one. They had a lot of big plays. We'll talk about it in our post-game show. The final score, the Penn-Trafford Warriors 34, the Woodland Hills Wolverines 8. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and surrounding areas for over 111 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home is pleased to announce the opening of their new crematory at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that our crematory is used exclusively for the families we serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at the Wolverina, Bob Workus, Rick McIntyre, the Woodland Hills Football Network. Penn-Trafford comes on the road, non-conference style, and they defeat the Woodland Hills Wolverines by a score of 34-8. Here is your scoring recap. The Wolverines got the first points of the game. Just under 4 minutes to go, they tackled Cam LaFoon in the backfield. It was Teron Best and Andrew Barlow, or Tyrell Barlow, excuse me. That safety put Woodland Hills up 2-0, but on the ensuing free kick possession, the Wolverines were intercepted. Michael Whitehurst threw in the coverage. He should have thrown it away. It was intercepted. That led to Woodland Hills taking possession near their own goal line 2 plays after that. A 94-yard touchdown run by Caleb Lisbon put Penn-Trafford on top to stay. Nick Tarabrella added the extra point. It was 7-2. Then in the second quarter, Cam LaFoon had an 11-yard touchdown run. Was really the nicest drive, the longest drive anyway, play-wise for Penn-Trafford on the night. The extra point was no good. It was 13-2 Warriors. Then the back-breaking play, as Rick and I were talking about a little bit ago, with 3.9 seconds to go before halftime, LaFoon found Anthony Cervone open. He got behind Michael Coleman down the far sideline, and right before the half, that touchdown and the extra point made it 20-2. The Warriors then made it 27-2. First of two big touchdown runs for John Gay, a 70-yarder with 1:45 to go in the third quarter, made it 27-2. And then Jaquan Smith, who had a touchdown run on this drive, called back in a holding play. Deja vu again, another touchdown run for Jaquan Smith, called back. Finally gets a 13-yard touchdown run. The pass for two was broken up, but the Wolverines did get a touchdown. It was 27-8, but on the ensuing drive, great individual run, an 80-yard touchdown run for John Gay with 9:25 to go in this contest. Tarabrella added the extra point for the Penn-Trafford Warriors. That makes your final score Penn-Trafford 34 and Woodland Hills 8. The Warriors 4-0, the Wolverines 1-3, and more perplexingly 0-3 at home for the first time in a long time, for the first time maybe ever. Back with some more post-game analysis right after this. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back for our post-game show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network with Rick McIntyre and Bob Orquist, and the great staff and all of our friends and colleagues here behind the scenes at the Woodland Hills Football Network, bringing it to you. Another loss for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, and Rick can testify that I didn't have to take my shoes off to do the math here, but 3 touchdown plays, Rick, tonight for Penn-Trafford. 244 yards, the Lisbon run, and the 2 Gay touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, you hear Coach Tomlin talk about all the time the splash
plays,
and
big time.
Those were like tidal wave splash plays, if you will. And the theme of the game, early on seemed to be Woodland Hills kept getting close. They were making some good defensive stops. They were driving the ball, but then when they would get near the end zone, everything kind of stalled a little bit. And the defense was making some good stops. The next thing you know, they're breaking off a 92-yard run, a 70-yard run. It just that one little slip.
Splash plays versus lack of splash plays.
Yeah, not many really huge plays. No huge gains for the Wolverines. Obviously, there was a safety early in the game, was potentially a real game changer.
Well, they didn't collect their ballots, but Caleb Lisbon.
I don't think they need him.
Player of the game. They didn't give it to John Gay. They gave it to Caleb Lisbon, who was also good for the Warriors. Although he did fumble twice, but Penn-Trafford, their defense came as advertised, and that's one of the reasons, too, why the Wolverines couldn't get any points. And we talked about the interior line and the linebackers, and they were as advertised for Penn-Trafford.
Oh, absolutely. We said the name Bubba more than I've ever been comfortable saying the word Bubba before, I think. But, he was, big stud in the middle. He's got the two guys on the other side. They're not quite as big, but they had some serious beef on that defensive line. Tough guys to root out of there. Rowdy Dinardo had a couple nice runs early in the game. Seemed like Woodland Hills was starting to figure them out a little bit, and then again every drive just seemed to just stall as they got into shorter distance, shorter touchdown territory, and that defense was able to just kind of gel together.
These two facts and stats may not be unrelated. 18 carries for 100 yards for Jaquan Smith, so he gets to the century mark. And welcome back into the lineup, big number 56, the Vega Bird at 6'1", 322. And he'll only get better with more game action as the season progresses for Woodland Hills.
Absolutely. I had my eye on Bird through a good bit of the game. I was quasi-lineman, when I was here, so I like watching them big dogs work all game. And he impressed me, again, with his quickness off the ball. I think he got away with jumping off sides a few times. I think he got called once or twice. But he comes off the ball, fires out low. He did a really good job tonight. Had an excellent game coming back.
Cam Laffoon throws for 128 yards on just 14 attempts, 8 of 14. He was not intercepted. Michael Whitehurst didn't do too bad. The numbers don't back it up. 9 of 32 for 63 yards and 3 interceptions. But I thought he looked comfortable. There were at least 4 drops in there. And the more he plays, and we don't know the status of Daniel Jones. He missed the entire game this week with that lower leg injury. We don't know his status, but I thought Whitehurst looked very, very comfortable and capable as well for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. The progression of watching Michael Whitehurst through this game. Came out early, made that bad decision on the rollout, threw the interception, shrugged it off. Did an excellent job kicking the ball all night as well, which is not easy to do necessarily when you're a quarterback. You don't make that 4th down. You don't get that 1st down. You're a little frustrated. You got to wipe it, get ready to receive that snap, make a good kick. And as the game went on, you saw him as they started giving him more of the 3-step drop, quick hits, hitting the outside, and it was fairly open all day. And I think I counted about 6 or 7 drops. So you take that 9 for 32, and it could have been significantly better if we catch some of those balls.
Take me back to your playing days under George Novak and the coaching staff. What will they talk about? This is a non-conference game. Now you're faced with your 6 remaining games, including next week at Chartiers Valley, or conference games in the Allegheny 9 Conference. Will the conversation say, okay, shrug it off, we made mistakes, we need to get better? Now the season starts with these 6 straight conference games. Will that be part of the conversation?
I think that's part of the conversation, but you don't wipe away the memory. You want the sting to be there a little bit because that can kind of fuel the fire, for that next game. And you saw it when the Woodland Hills went out to Baldwin after taking that tough loss to Gateway. They came out with a little bit of fire in their belly, and that's what the coaching staff wants to see.
For us, another break, and then we'll bring you the Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game, the State Senator Jay Costa player of the game. You're listening to the Woodland Hills Football Network. It's on the MSA Sports Network, and if you're watching it, you're tuned into it. It's presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Today's broadcast of Wolverine football was presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, A-Boss Opticians, the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. This broadcast has been a presentation of A.W. Gusky Productions and LG3 Entertainment. Copyright 2017.